Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Headphones? No headphones?
Yeah, I don't need headphones.
You don't. We're going no headphones. Fuck it. What's up, dog? How are you?
Well, dude, it's been a roller coaster for me, man.
Since the last time I saw you?
Big time.
What happened?
Well, let's see here. The year of 2022. Last time I saw you, I think it was 2023.
Was it that long ago?
I think it was, man.
Okay.
Yeah. And, man, dude, I was on a high the year of 2022. Like, we had our Jackass movie in theaters, #1. There was big, like, you know, my profile was all, you know, like, white hot. The world just opened up from the pandemic, and everybody had stimulus money, and they were just revenge spending. Everyone wanted to go out to shows, and there were no interest rates. Money was free. It was just like a perfect storm for me to have the most successful year of my life. Like, more than double what my next most successful year was. And then, like, I don't know, maybe I just got, like, super, super high on that, you know? Like, and it was just, like, I was just kind of printing money, you know, like selling merch like crazy, and like everything was just going so well. And I don't know if maybe like you become more successful and like people get angry at you, you know, but there's a point after that where I felt like, man, the internet turned on me, kind of, you know, like I saw a lot of negative comments, people saying that all I do is promote merch, you know, like there's a bunch of different stuff, and I legitimately agree. That's my thing, is when I see a negative comment about me, if I agree with it, then it really bothers me, you know, and I got to do something about it, you know. I think, and I've heard you say that you know, that taking criticism constructively is like super helpful.
It's very helpful. The problem with the internet is it's overwhelming. It's too many voices,
right?
Too many different people. That's why I would never recommend for a person like you to even read the comments.
Right. What I did was.
Do you have a dick tattooed on your right eyebrow? Is that what that is?
That's exactly.
How long do you have to keep that for?
I don't have to keep it for any amount of time, but
it's not a bet or anything.
I mean, it is a bet how long I last before I get it lasered off.
And is there a money value to this bet?
No, it's more of an experiment.
Oh.
But I've been doing really well with it. And
it's not even a good dick. It's like a weird dick, like a banana dick.
It's pretty awesome. and it was.
You're bad at taking criticism.
It was done by Post Malone.
Oh, well, it makes it even better.
It makes it awesome. Yeah. I don't expect to keep it forever, but I was very shocked when I got it that my life didn't really change a whole lot.
Yeah, it's you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if, Marco Rubio got a dick tattooed on his forehead, they'd be like, hey, take his fucking clearance away.
Yeah. But in any case, man, like, you couldn't be more right. There's so many voices and everything, but I agreed with a bunch of stuff, and you know, I spent like 2024, 2025, like very mindfully addressing the criticism with which I agreed, and I felt like I made like really good progress. You know, like sort of repairing my reputation, even though maybe I didn't even need to.
I don't think you needed to.
Maybe not. But, and then coming into 2026, I was like, wow, I did this. I texted you. I was like, dude, I got on this MrBeast thing. I won the whole damn thing. And, it was this video he made, 30 celebrities compete to win $1 million for charity.
Ah, who were you on with?
Dude, it was Matt Rife was one of them.
Ah, cool.
Sal Volcano.
Oh, nice.
Howie Mandel,
Nice.
Diplo,
Nice.
the Bella Twins.
Oh, so that's a crazy group of people.
It was really
You
crazy.
said there was 20? 20
30
total?
of them.
30. Oh, wow.
Yeah, 30, like not half-ass celebrities by any measure. And I won the whole damn thing, which was...
So what was involved? What'd you have to do?
There was it was an exercise in promoting his Beast games on Prime, which, by the way, is the most phenomenal TV show that I've ever watched.
Yeah, my daughter was just telling me about it. She was saying it's so good.
It is unbelievably good, and I'm not being paid.
He's
to
a
say
wizard,
that.
man. That dude's very smart.
Yeah, I got that.
He's like a really interesting guy because he's kind of open about what he does and he tells people how to do it.
Right.
You know, like how to manipulate the algorithm and how to get people to get excited and click on your link based on what the image is and the text says. And he thinks about all that shit. Yeah.
I was able to have him on my podcast, like right when the thing came out. And he was telling me that he was pretty close to recording a podcast with you on the top of the
Egypt.
pyramid.
Yeah. I couldn't make it out there. I didn't have the time.
Yeah. But no, he's amazing. And I thought when that thing came out, I was like, man, this is just going to like be life altering.
Well, here's the thing. People got mad at him. They got mad at him when he was filming in Egypt because he was filming with Zahi Hawass. And Zahi is the head of the Ministry of Antiquities? Is that what it is? Or he was at one point in time. He was one of, my most controversial podcast guests. People did not like him.
Wow.
Because he pushes a narrative in defiance of all the evidence that has been sort of uncovered by all these other people. It's like there's this evidence that shows that the pyramids are
okay, so you're not
built
talking
by
about
these
Mr.
guys.
Beast.
MrBeast, because MrBeast did something with him, and a lot of people online were mad at him for having this guy on, Zahi
And it's the
Hawass.
guy who pushes the narrative.
Nobody knows how they built the pyramids. And he's like, they built it because it was a national project. And I was like, come on, bro. Like, that's a fun thing to say, but that doesn't tell me how they got all those rocks there. Tell me how they got 2,300,000 stones that weigh between 2 and like 80 tons. And they moved them to the mountains, some of them 500 miles away. Like, tell me how they did that. Tell me how they aligned it to true north, south, east, and west 4,500 plus years ago, and it's more likely plus than minus. I mean, nobody knows. So so that was really controversial. A lot of people mad at MrBeast for that. What in the algorithm that I have, people are calling him a shill and letting this guy say nonsense on your show.
Wow. Okay.
So that's the point. It's like, don't listen.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit. No, none of MrBeast's fans are like, we're gonna abandon him. He has Zahi Hawass on spitting out propaganda. Nobody cares, man.
Right.
There's just too many voices, and if you look at yourself, if you feel like, I'm kind of whoring out my merch too much, just back off of it.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did.
He gets shit for everything because he's uber successful. Right. So everything he does, like it could be like he only gave away $1 million to charity. Like it's fucking ridiculous, man. Like you'll never make all those people happy. They don't want to be happy. That's a big part of what's going on.
Right.
You're jumping into a pool of mentally ill people and trying to stay clean. You're like washing. Hey guys, let's be reasonable. They're not reasonable. They're fucking suicidal. They know what a gun tastes like. They've had it in their mouth recently. This is not a place where you're going to get like rational discourse.
Right. But again, it's when I agree with stuff that
that it bothers you.
Right.
But do that to yourself.
Right.
Just look at yourself. Take a moment.
Like there was I don't know if I was burned out, like if I was touring, but like there was a point going through 2022 in particular, 2023, where like I would lose my mind over people being disruptive in the audience at my shows. Like, I don't even want to call them hecklers because I think like heckler has like a connotation of wittiness to it. I'm talking about just drunk shitheads, just yelling out and disrupting the show. And I would take the position. I'd be like, man, this whole audience of people paid their hard-earned money to come see this show, and this one person yelling out is just fundamentally disrespecting everybody who's here, and I'm not standing for it. I'm trying to hard, and I would be like, I would snap, be like, no, I would be throwing people out. What happened was, everybody thought I was a dick, and like maybe so, like maybe I was burned out, and it was like this,
You were overreacting, right?
overreacting,
Yeah.
and like that's another piece of criticism that I really, really took to heart, and now it's been over 2 years, like well over 2 years since I even scolded an audience member
That's
or
cool.
throw them out.
That's great. You just got to kind of put that energy out there at the beginning. We're all here to have a good time.
Sure.
We're all here to have a good time. Let them know. It's like if someone's yelling out, like, come on, man, keep it to yourself. Stay
All
calm.
right.
Hold it together.
If I get like really pushed in an egregious situation, the farthest I'll go is I'll say, hey, you know what, guys? I used to get really bent out of shape over people being disruptive, but I don't do it anymore. And that tends to
That's
and
good.
as soon as I stopped reacting so much, like the problem mellowed out.
Well, you got to realize, like, your entire career, you've kind of been a disruptor.
Sure.
So it's kind of natural
Right.
that disruptive people would be attracted to come to your show.
Of course.
And then
I
you're
get
saying, please be polite at this moment in time.
it. Right. Yeah, like you're about to see me put some things up my butt, and I demand respect.
Is that what you do in your show? You put stuff up your butt?
Well, it's a multimedia show. So, so it like it.
So
it's,
of course you put something up. It's multimedia. I mean, self-explanatory, Jamie. What's with the questions, Jamie? God,
right. But
bro,
yeah,
I still to this day cringe when Tim Kennedy choked you unconscious and then let you drop. I was mad at him.
yeah, that
I was mad at him. You didn't have to let you drop like that.
I did ask him to drop me, which
I would
was
have
wrong.
said no.
Yeah.
I would have said no. If you made me do that to you, first of all, I would have
Right.
tried to talk you out of it. But then I would have said, there's no way I'm going to let you drop.
In hindsight, it wasn't particularly funny.
Not only was it not funny, it was like super disturbing.
Right.
I would have put a cushion under you at the very least.
Right.
You know, like a nice,
Right.
one of them judo pads where
Especially-
you throw people on.
Being choked out in and of itself is not.
Not that bad.
It's not really a
Probably
dangerous
not
thing.
the best for you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what the data is. I don't think a lot of jiu-jitsu people have done double-blind, placebo-controlled studies on tap or no tap. What's the best for your brain?
Right.
I can't think it's good that your brain gets shut off for a few seconds. I can't think it's good,
One of the gnarliest things I've ever done in my life, if not the gnarliest, way back in 2003, we had just had the first Jackass movie come out. While filming for the first Jackass movie, one of the bits that it was never used because it was too dark.
fucked up?
Too
For Jackass?
For Jackass. Right.
Do you have a clip of this?
Of what? I'm sure that it exists.
Okay.
But you'll appreciate this. The legend Gene LaBelle.
Oh, Judo Gene.
Judo Gene, the legend.
Real legend.
Yeah. Like they had Gene LaBelle. They lined up the whole cast of Jackass, and he just went down the line.
Just choked it all out?
Yeah, and like the swiftness with which he
Oh,
got
yeah.
it.
He was a brutal man.
I mean, it was just like, and he was just like,
Yeah.
and so he
Super
laid-
nice guy, but a brutal man.
Right,
You
and
know?
it wasn't even brutal though. It was like gentle.
Oh,
It was
really?
just like, I mean, it was just so fast. It was just
His
and then, like,
style was known for being particularly painful.
Yeah.
My friend Silvio Pimenta was one of his students, and he was one of my first jiu-jitsu instructors. And he taught me a bunch of Gene stuff. And I was like, oh, what a mean guy. Like, some of the
Right.
stuff was so mean. It was like knuckles in your neck and like real crazy shit that Gene would do to people.
Yeah.
It was like particularly painful.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Out cold. Oh, yeah, that looks gentle. Super gentle. No, I'm not even kidding. Like the way he's doing it. I mean, his
Right.
technique is so flawless.
You know that Chuck Liddell was really good at it too. He choked me out one time. So
Who did he punch? Who did he punch in the arm? Full blast. Someone like that. One of you guys.
that would have been before Jackass.
Was it Jason Ellis? I forget who it was, but someone let Chuck full blast right hand them in the arm. I'm like, well, that arm's useless for a couple of months now. That's not like your buddy punching you in the arm versus Chuck. He's gonna rip some stuff apart in there.
Yeah.
He might blow your shoulder out. Like, that's crazy to let that guy hit you.
Yeah, what a sweetheart too.
Oh, he's a great guy. Chuck was the weirdest because when he was in his prime, like, you look at him, he was so scary because he's tall. He was fucking built like a brick shithouse, mohawk, tattoo on his head. Super kind. Like, you talk to him, super calm and relaxed, and
I spent a bunch of time with
great fucking
Chuck.
guy. Great fucking guy.
Okay, so Gene LaBelle just lays this all down one by one.
Okay.
They considered it too dark. They didn't even
Just because he went unconscious?
Yeah. Just like
What year was this?
2002. That we filmed.
People
the
weren't
first
used to
one.
being choked out yet. The UFC didn't really get big until 2005.
Right, because of Chuck.
Really? And
Yeah.
well, it was really because of Stephen Bonner and Forrest Griffin.
Right.
That one fight on
Right.
it's crazy. One fight on the Ultimate Fighter changed the course of the history of the sport.
That was the premiere on Spike. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Because there was a good fight before that. Diego Sanchez beat Kenny Florian. So that was before that. That was a really good fight too. And then, but that was like, Diego beat his ass. But whereas the Stephen Bonner Forrest Griffin fight was a crazy, like completely even fight.
Yeah.
And two dudes who knew each other really well, and they were fucking going for it. They said that during the time, like maybe 1 million people were watching it at first, and the peak was like 6 or 7 million, which for them was nuts. So what that meant was everybody was calling their friend and go, dude, turn on Spike TV right now. This is crazy. And like, what is this? Like, no one knew what it was back then. Like, they had heard of Hoist Gracie, but no one knew that it was going to be on TV. And they're like, boom, that was it. And then they had Chuck as the champion, which was the perfect champion for an emerging sport. This guy was just a seek and destroy psychopath with a tattoo, like kanji tattoo on his head and a mohawk, just fucking starching people. Woo!
I remember that era
Wild
too.
time.
I mean, year 2000 was when Jackass came out on MTV. And I mean, at that time, you couldn't watch video on the internet.
That was the dark times. That was when it was banned from cable, and you could only watch. I got DirecTV because it was the only way you could watch the UFC.
Yeah.
That's why I got DirecTV.
The media just wasn't so fragmented at that time. There were only so many TV channels. There was no social media, no video on the internet.
Right.
So when something hit on basic cable,
It hit big. Yeah.
And I think the most concurrent viewers on MTV that we got was like 4.5 million. So, and that
For cable, that's a lot.
that moved the needle in a big way.
That's
back
unheard
then.
of now.
Right.
Which is really kind of crazy if you think about it.
Yep.
That's how much things have gotten diluted because there's so many shows. It's impossible to watch everything.
Right.
Every time I turn on Apple TV, there's some new interesting show.
Yep.
There's a fucking million of them on Amazon Prime that you've never even heard of that are really good. They're all over the place.
Right. Mate, I had a really great conversation with Mark McGrath, the guy from Sugar Ray.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's I just fell in love with this guy. I had him on my podcast, and he made such a valid point about how the '90s nostalgia is so rad because it was really the last time when everybody watched the same shows on TV together.
Right.
Like all the albums came out on the Tuesday, like whatever. Like everything. It was a communal audience for everything.
Right.
We don't have that anymore.
There's only one UFC 326 this Saturday, and on DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting. Once it's over, your shot to get in on the action is gone. DraftKings Sportsbook is built for live betting, not just pre-fight picks, because in the UFC, one moment can flip the entire fight. One punch, one kick, one takedown. New to DraftKings, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins with the code Rogan. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Rogan. That's code Rogan for new customers to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Well, we knew when albums were going to be released, and everybody got excited about it.
Yeah.
Oh, the new Van Halen. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun time. It was an interesting time. And it was a time, like, before the internet. You had to find out about stuff from friends.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I remember I was headed to a gig with this dude. God, I wish I could remember his last name. But he was really funny. His name, Johnny something. Fuck. I'll remember it eventually. But we were on our way to this comic from Connecticut. We were on our way to a gig together, and he's like, "Have you heard of the Brand New Heavies?" And I go, "No, who are they?" He goes, "It's a jazz band, and they linked up with a bunch of rappers and made this heavy rhyme experience album. It was fucking incredible." I'm like, I would have never found out about
That
this.
sounds sick.
Oh, it's sick, dude. There's one with Gangstar that's great. It's getting hectic. It's fucking great because it's like you got this music that's like this like real live band music, sort of like how that Tiny Desk Show does it now.
See, I don't even know the Tiny Desk.
But like you got like Cool G rap.
Oh, dude, Cool G rap.
That's it, Johnny Rizzo. How did you do that?
That's another trick.
How the fuck did you do
There's
that?
you've saw these
Shout
stories
out
before.
to Johnny
Yeah.
Rizzo.
There's transcripts.
Is he around still? He was a funny dude. He had like a rubber face. The dude could make the craziest faces. You're like, it was so funny.
Yeah. Back to the choking out thing. I think the reason why it was dark and disturbing.
Because you guys were twitching.
Well,
when
yeah,
you were
it's
out.
the twitching.
Yeah.
When you get choked out, you're twitching, and that's a little
That's
bit.
just waking up.
It's a little bit upsetting.
It's not-
But the
That's hilarious. All the shit you guys did that they left in.
well, yeah, and another big problem is that with the choking out, it's particularly imitatable. That's something that we gotta worry about. If it's something that little kids could like pretty easily imitate, then that's more problematic for us. But in that whole experience, Ryan Dunn just came away feeling qualified to start choking people out himself.
Oh, no.
I don't know that Ryan Dunn had any kind of combat sports background. I kind of doubt it. I think it was literally just from this one experience with Gene LaBelle, kind of watching it happen, having the experience himself. He just started choking people out. And back then, I had a wildly different style of tour, but I was on tour nonetheless. And Ryan Dunn would be with me on tour. He would say to the audience, "Who wants to get on stage and get choked out?" And even back then, I was like out of my mind on drugs, and I was like, "Please don't be doing this." It's just like, it really, really bothered me. It made me so uncomfortable. I would leave the stage when Ryan Dunn was choking out audience members.
Oh, that's so crazy that they signed up for that.
Right, and people would be jumping up and down like, "Please, please,
Did
please."
he let them down? He didn't drop them?
He did let them down
That's
gently.
very kind of him.
But it bothered me so much until the one day when I'd been on cocaine for like 3 days in a row, and I was feeling a little bit self-conscious about how little very intense footage that I had been generating, and I was like, you know what?
Man.
Today's my day. Ryan Dunn choked me out, and so he did it once, and then he did it again. We spent the whole day. 6 times in a row. And each time it became more like violent, throwing me down. So
Yeah, it
that's
seems-
number 2.
It seems like he's having fun with your body after it's out.
Yeah.
He's sort of just ragdolling you.
Yeah.
Dude,
6 of them in one day.
that's too much.
Oh my God, the
I would
last
imagine
one.
that rarely happens in training.
Right.
Usually you tap out.
Yeah. After this one, I think there's 2 more, and the last one is just so upsetting.
This one?
Yeah, I guess it's the one where where he threw me on my head.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, like right.
I don't want to see. No.
Yeah, I landed right on my face, dude.
Fuck, man. Why did he do that?
Because
You wanted it to be more exciting?
like, I think that
And the cocaine.
yeah, there was cocaine falling out of my nose in the shot because I put it there.
Jesus Christ. Jeez,
Right.
boy.
I think that's probably the gnarliest thing.
Yeah.
But in any case, so
Did you get hurt from that at all?
I think I had a
the
broken
repeated
tooth.
Oh, from falling on your face?
Yeah.
Did you get hurt at all from the repeated chokings?
I don't think so.
No.
It's pretty amazing,
Yeah.
given what I've put myself through.
Oh, incredible.
Both professionally and personally. That like I have good recall. Like
Yeah.
I'm, pretty.
How many times? Johnny told me he's been knocked out unconscious 16 times. How many times do you think?
I'm not at that level. I got knocked out in the WWE ring
Oy.
on Monday Night Raw. It was this was a heavy one, man.
What'd you get hit with?
And it was an elbow that really put me out.
Who hit you?
Umaga. This is they call his fighter name in the WWE was the Samoan Bulldozer.
Bro, Samoan's got some heavy bones.
Yeah,
You
so
don't want to get hit by a Samoan?
yeah. I mean, dude, I bet you can bring that one up real
my
easy.
goodness.
The Monday Night Raw, Steve-O and Chris Pontius. We were promoting the second Jackass movie, so
need
we're
to
gonna
see
get
this.
in the ring. We're getting in the ring. We're doing a whole match, and it's fascinating the way that they kind of block out what the matches are. It's kind of like a jam band,
Right.
You know, like a jam band that you've got like the kind of tent pole moments, and then you just kind of fill it in. But it's like this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and what was to be the last move. It's called a splash, where this 350-pound Samoan bulldozer is going to jump off the top rope, and with me laying on the ground and like body slam, off the top rope. But what I didn't understand, what I didn't know, is that the match, for it to be over, that means the person who lost like stops moving.
Oh,
like
that's the only way?
You're not supposed to move around.
Oh, you
after
moved
that.
around.
I moved it so like
So he put you to sleep.
yeah, like he jumped off the top rope, and it was such a devastating blow that I couldn't help but react. I was like, oh, like whoa, like, and I'm laughing and rolling around, like I can't even believe
Oh,
it.
no.
And he's looking at me like, oh, now I'm disrespecting him because I'm moving around.
Oh.
So he hits me again. And I'm confused because I understood that what just happened was supposed to be the final move. But now he just hit me again, and I'm like, what are you doing? But he's like, if I'm going to move around, he's going to keep hitting me. So
Nobody told you that?
Right. And so then he hits me again, and then,
Right there. This is gnarly.
yeah, we got pretty radical on the, yeah, there's okay, this is, dude, he drops his elbow. They didn't even show the end of the match. They went to commercial because it was too dark for the WWE to show. See right there. Now it's supposed to be over, but I'm moving around.
And so then he
Yeah,
kicks
so now
you.
he's kicking me, and I'm like, wait, but dude, I think that elbow was what put me out. And they cut to the commercial. I don't remember leaving the ring.
Wow. Yeah, that elbow looked pretty fucking hard, dude.
Yeah, right there.
But it's also all the other banging of your brain. I mean,
Right.
this is a lot of banging of your brain. The body slam's a banging of your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got a concussion from that one, son.
Yeah.
Those dudes get concussions all the
Right.
time. You don't think about it because you think, oh, it's wrestling, it's pro wrestling. But just the physical contact's unavoidable. Those guys, when Hulk Hogan came in here, man, it was one of the saddest things. I'd met him a long time ago in Beverly Hills. I ran into him in front of a cigar bar. I was like, holy shit, he was gigantic. And then I met him the second time I met him another time when he and I did a Spike TV thing. It was awesome. And then he came in to do the podcast, and he had so many back surgeries that he was like 6 inches shorter.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. It's because they have to fuse all of his discs, and he had a
Yeah.
cane everywhere, man. He was fucked up. And he said it was from that thing that he would do where he would drop down on his ass with an elbow. So every time he did that, he fucked his back up. I mean, think about how big he was in his prime.
Right.
300 plus pounds, right?
Yeah.
So every time you're dropping down, your body's taking the shock on your ass bone of 300 plus pounds flying through the air and bouncing off the ground. So all of his discs got herniated. You had to get them all fused. It was horrible, man.
Yeah.
Those guys get fucking busted up.
Yeah.
The Rock is like a weird, he's an outlier. Because I don't know what kind of physical issues he has, but he doesn't seem to have any. Like, I worked out with him. He's mobile. He could do stuff. He looks amazing. It's like, I don't know how he got through that insane long career and not got busted up.
Yeah. I feel like Stone Cold Steve Austin is in reasonably good shape, too.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. But I know a lot of those guys, man, they leave that career and, you know, they have fake hips, fake backs fused. Everybody has something wrong.
Yeah. I've been pretty lucky. Like, for the most part, you know, I've had some hardware in my ankle. I've had hardware in my collarbone. I had meniscus surgery on my knee.
That's it for your knees? Just one?
Just one, and it was an elective one too. Like, it was a partially torn meniscus.
Why'd you decide to get it snipped?
Because I was told that it would be better. I don't know. Like, in the long run, my knee would be better for it.
Yeah, I had it done on my left knee, and it was pretty good until a skiing accident a few years ago, and it's been like irritating the shit out of me since then. And then I've had a few other little injuries with it, but the thing about it is, like, that cushion, once it's gone, it's gone. Like, it doesn't come back. And that cushion's kind of important. Like, my knee always felt a little loose. Like, that cushion, like, it was banging around in there.
Yeah.
They do replace meniscus. They use cadaver meniscus, but it's not 100%. It doesn't always work. I don't know. I think they have to cut the entirety of your meniscus out and put a cadaver one in there and then sew it in place.
That recovery from that meniscus surgery was rough.
Really?
Yeah, like that. Like,
I thought that was one of the easiest ones.
For me, man, my knee really hurt for quite a while.
Were you doing anything for it? How long ago was this?
I did
2006? Is that what you said?
Oh, well, no.
How long was it? The knee surgery?
The meniscus was recent. That was 2023.
Recent. Oh, okay. Well, get on some peptides. That'll probably help it.
I was doing peptides.
Yeah.
Donald Cerrone.
Oh, there you go.
He got me dialed in with the folks at Transcend.
Right. He works with those guys.
Right. And
that's how he got super jacked after he retired.
Right. I just travel so much.
Right.
That, like, all of these things that need to be refrigerated, you're traveling with the ice pack, and it was like,
I get it.
It's just like kind of too much. And I just, like,
you know what a simple solution though is?
What's that?
Just get yourself like one of them little Yeti thermoses. Put some ice in there and put your peptides in there. Throw it in your bag. Simple.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
It keeps it cold, seals up.
I was doing testosterone too.
You stopped?
I did.
Why'd you stop?
I just kept forgetting. I was like, oh. And I didn't really, I mean, I don't want to say I didn't notice anything, because there are different things going on in my life that I could have attributed. But, like, having stopped taking it, I don't notice really any difference. And
did you get your blood work done before you took it?
Well, I did. I got my blood work done by the folks at Transcend.
Right.
And, you know, they prescribed it to me.
What did they say your levels were?
I think my testosterone was like 300.
Oh, that's pretty low. Yeah.
It's on
there's
the low
other stuff
end of
you can
normal.
take, though. There's stuff called, well, you don't need to take in peptides, but there's other stuff you could take that could ramp up your natural testosterone.
Right. I've been doing more, like, strength training, too, and I know that
yeah, that
helps
does
a
it.
lot.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different things like deadlifts and squats. They ramp up your testosterone, especially Zercher squats.
I could certainly get back into all that, because I love the idea of, like, being super healthy, longevity.
Yeah, it's good for you. Feel better, think better.
Yeah, and my baseline's pretty good too. Like, I've got my Whoop band, and
seeing you with a Whoop is kind of hilarious. I'm a little concerned about my health.
I love it.
Contrary to all my actions for the past 40 plus years.
Right. I love it so much, and
it's great, right? You get so much data. Find out if you're sleeping well.
Well, what's your HRV like?
I don't know, man. I haven't worn one in a while.
Right, because
it's pretty good.
Like today, I'm 113 HRV.
I don't know if that's good. Is that good?
It's super good.
Oh, yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, and like
That's
my,
awesome.
My average is like 90. I don't know. Like,
That's great, man. So you're working out, you're feeling good.
Yeah,
Nice.
taking care of
Just
myself.
avoid those blows to the head, son.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially as you get older, it seems like
Right.
a lot of people when they get older, they're really hard to recover from.
Right. The last Jackass movie we did, the fourth one, Jackass Forever. They had this huge treadmill. It's like treadmill for horses, and they got us. They got it just humming, and all of us, a bunch of us, the cast, dressed up in marching band, like with marching band, and like we're marching, playing our instruments, and one by one we jump on this treadmill.
Right.
And it was hilarious, but dude, I got knocked out so cold. I wonder if you could bring that up, Jamie. I was out for like probably maybe the longest I've ever.
How
been.
did you get knocked out? What happened?
I hit my head?
You just fell?
Yeah, like as I got spit off the end of this treadmill.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You just kind of jumped on it?
So it looks like Knoxville went first.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude.
So I'm like, everyone is awake, and I am like super not awake at all.
Oh, Knoxville's bleeding from the head.
Yeah.
You guys are so ridiculous. What a silly way to make a living. Yeah, don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that might have been my worst concussion. But
Really?
there's been like more than that even. Not 16, but.
The one that hurt me the most was Johnny Knoxville when he was in that store and Butterbean beat him up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was crazy. That
Yeah.
one bothered me. Because if you know how hard Butterbean hits, that's just a silly thing to sign up for. Let that guy beat the shit out of you. And then even after he's down, Butterbean had him get back up and put him away. Like, don't let him do that.
Right.
Especially Butterbean, man. That guy. There's a highlight reel of him putting giant men to sleep. You do not want that guy punched you in the chin.
Talk about sweethearts too, man. What Butterbean?
Yeah, up until that moment.
Right.
There's a thing with those guys, though. They're so accustomed to hurting people.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to sign up for this? You sure? I'm sure. Okay.
Right.
And they're just going to do to you what they've done to a bunch of other people that decided to box them.
Yeah. Man, looking at that treadmill, that really was gnarly.
Gnarly. Not good. I mean, you were flying through the air and landed on your fucking head. Not good, dude.
Yeah,
Not good.
Yeah, that.
That's probably why you forget to take your peptides. I read a story about Jim McMahon, the football player, and that's his name, right? The guy from the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, Jim McMahon was the quarterback, right?
Yeah, the quarterback. And I think it was a Sports Illustrated article, and they were talking about like he can't remember anything. He'll be standing in the middle of his living room, not knowing why he's there, where he was going.
Man.
Doesn't know where his keys are. Doesn't know where his phone. Just like can't. It's just like it just blacks out, comes back. Blacks out, comes back.
You'd imagine that would be more for like linemen because every single play. Like
Those days though, the quarterbacks got taken out. Back in those days, that's the 80s. You got to think of how much harder the game was back. I'm obviously not a football aficionado or expert by any means, but from what I've been told, the rules are much more favorable today to protect the quarterback.
Right, okay.
And back then, those dudes got hit. And it's not just that, man. It's also all the different years you played. Those all count. Like, just because you're only getting knocked out a couple of times as a professional in the NFL, what about all the times you got knocked out in high school? What about all the times you got knocked out in college? Those guys, man, I have a massive amount of respect for football players. I mean, I've watched a lot of high school games in Texas, and I watched a lot of college games at UT. It is a fucking brutal sport. I mean, it's no wonder that's the American pastime, because it is a psychotic fucking sport.
I love it.
It's fun to watch, man. I've become a fan.
What really I think was the smartest thing the NFL did, they got into the routine with the NFL YouTube channel. At the conclusion of every game, they upload a video to YouTube, which is a condensed version of the game that runs anywhere from like 10 to, like 10 to 15 minutes. So, like, you can
All the
watch.
highlights.
It's super digestible, more than highlights, like more than Sports Center. But like, you're only seeing the awesome stuff.
Man was involved in this. This is one of the dirtiest plays in NFL history.
Oh.
He just got slammed after the play.
After the play slammed on his head.
Yeah.
That's
I think
crazy.
this ended his season, this play. I don't know which game of the year it was, but
Oh my
That's
God.
not cool, man.
yeah.
Look at him. Oh my God. That's crazy that the dude did that. And what did he get? Like a 1-game penalty or something?
Oh, back then, I don't know.
Yeah, back then it was probably pretty mellow.
Back then they probably gave him extra steroids. Good job.
But I hope this reaches the NFL when I say this, is that as much as, and by the end of the season, whatever it was, 2023, 2024, like, I was so invested because I was watching these digestible, like, YouTube videos, that by the time the playoffs rolled around, I was subscribed to every single different platform, because now, like, the stakes are so high, I gotta watch the whole game. Like, they really converted me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was the smartest thing I
That's
did.
wise. I mean, because you think about it, there's a lot of downtime in football. In
Right.
between plays, a lot of this, a lot of
Sure.
that. People talk.
The best thing, but I have a really, really important thing that I want the NFL to know, is that the thumbnails, a lot of the times, gave away the outcome of the game. So, and this was a problem that the UFC had for a while. Like, I would be doing my shows, especially if I'm in a comedy club. I've got the second show on Saturday night, so I've missed the whole pay-per-view event. Now I get back to my hotel room, and I'm going to watch everything, the whole thing. But then when I go into the video on demand, and the thumbnail shows, like, the winner of the main event, like, celebrating.
Right.
Like, it's like, oh, so I reached out to Dana. I'm like, Dana, the thumbnails are giving it away. And he's like, took care of it, man. Just got off the phone with the head of Disney, the president of...
That's nice to have that kind of pull.
Right. And I wish I could do that for the NFL, but they don't always
Maybe they
do.
will. Maybe they will now.
Yeah, they don't always give away the game. But for the love of God, please make the thumbnail neutral. So that, because of the reason why we're clicking on this video is because we don't want to know what happened. We want to watch it and enjoy it.
Right. And so how long are these condensed games?
Anywhere from like 8 to 16 minutes.
Wow. That's smart.
And it's so exciting because if you see like a punt or a kickoff, you know something awesome is going to happen, because they'll never include a punt or a kickoff unless it gets run all the way down for a touchdown, or if there's a turnover or something like.
Right.
So it's like, ooh, there's, like, you get excited when you watch these videos if there's a punt.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The UFC does a good job with, they do these videos that shows like all the knockouts from a particular event. So anybody who just wants to see knockouts.
Yep, I've been seeing that. And, I've been in situations already since the Paramount deal where I got to go back and watch the whole card. And Paramount, like, it's pretty awesome, man. Like, on ESPN.
It's not very intuitive, I got to say. It's a little clunky when you're searching for the show, because you go to like live TV to watch it, and then if it's not on live TV anymore, like if you go out, you pause it, and you come back and and you click on it, it doesn't work, and then you got to find it, and then you got to go to home, and then you got to go down to the UFC, and then search out each individual, and then it brings you up a grid of all the stuff that's on TV right now, and then if you click on that, it's not playing anymore, so it tells you it's not on. You got to go back again to home. So like, where the fuck is it? Like, just have a little UFC thing where I could click at the home page, then it shows all the matches, what's live, what's not. Just a little clunky. I think ESPN Plus kind of had it down, and I'm just starting to
the
get.
problem with ESPN Plus was, though.
What?
Is that, you scroll through to get to the main card, they would have each fight individually up there, and you got to like blur your eyes because on the thumbnail it says the duration of the fight. You got a little timestamp, and it's like, oh damn it! I just saw that the.
You got to not look at that.
Yeah,
don't
you got to
look at that.
unblur your eyes, look through the cracks.
The problem
in
is
your
when you
fingers.
play it, that'll show you how short the amount of time is. You know how quickly the time is going. Like, oh, great.
Right. Well, you can't
getting quick.
you can't ever skip anything because then the time bar will come up.
Do you watch anything else other than UFC?
Sports wise, or
No, like for
just,
fighting wise.
Oh, man, no.
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 I've been trying to get Dana White to do a striking league. I'm trying because, like, you know, people still boo and complain when things go to the ground, and if the UFC has time to do like slap fight, which I'm not really into, but if they have time to do that, like, do a stand-up only league because there's other organizations that are doing that.
You know what? Like the Mike Tyson Jake Paul thing. I understand that they had 100 million viewers.
Is that real?
I think they did. And then the Jake
makes
Paul
sense.
Anthony Joshua had like maybe 30 million. You
Right.
know, so it was nowhere near. But God, I thought that
Where'd you get those numbers?
just whatever. I just saw it on the.
Because I don't know if Netflix gives those numbers out, or maybe they did. Did they say it? 108 million. Paul Tyson had 108 million.
And then Anthony Joshua, I think it was like 30.
Interesting. 108 million is crazy. That's
dude,
a lot of fucking people.
It's a lot of people, but what a blown opportunity when you think like, okay, now Netflix they knew they were going to have that many viewers, or
Right.
if not that many, they knew they were going to have a lot.
Right.
They had the opportunity to take the boxing model and fix it, and you know, and I don't know, like
That Netflix did?
Yeah, I mean,
Netflix has only had a small handful of events, though.
understood. But if you look at the UFC broadcast, just
Right.
how like there's just not downtime. You
Right.
know, it's like people care about the undercard. I mean, you know me, like I'm there
Yeah.
like for the first Fight Pass prelim
Some of the undercards are the best fights.
for sure.
Yeah,
and that's why
especially-
the Contender Series is so good.
Particularly, yeah, right, exactly. Especially when you see some of these guys coming out of the Contender Series that are so high level already.
Right.
There's guys that are getting matched up in the undercard that no one's ever heard of. That are two undefeated fighters that could be world champions.
For sure.
There's guys that are that good now.
Right, and that's what's so great about the UFC is that the whole card's good, the production's insane. There's no downtime. It's just like you can sit there for fucking 6 hours,
Right,
you know, like
right,
and
right.
be thoroughly happy that you're watching the whole time. But with boxing, there's so much time in between the bouts.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
I mean,
they don't do nearly as good a job. UFC, without doubt, is the best promotion in all of combat
100%.
sports in terms of entertainment, production
sure.
value, the people in the truck, the experts.
Right.
Like
100%.
they're the best.
That's
They're the
what
best.
I'm saying about Netflix is that they
They could have fixed it.
they could have fixed
Well,
it.
Zoof is trying to do that now.
Right.
You know,
And
Zoof is
thank
trying
God
to do
they
that.
are.
They're basically using the promotion machine behind the UFC to start
Sure.
promoting boxing. And they're just getting rolling right now. But they signed some really big guys. They signed Conor Benn. They signed Jai Apatea, who's a fucking beast. They signed some legit boxers. So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Boxing is it is a fascinating sport.
It's a mess. I mean, as far as the broadcast goes.
Well, I think there's a few companies that know how to do it right, and HBO was the best. And when HBO went off the air with boxing, it was a real bummer because HBO boxing had been around for decades. They were the peak. That was like the best production team. It was Jim Lampley, Larry Hazard, or Larry Merchant rather, Roy Jones Jr. sometimes, George Foreman sometimes, and different fighters would sit in sometimes. And it was Jim Lampley is the fucking best. It was the best. It was like the smoothest production. They were the best with the cameras and the production quality, and they'd get you hyped up about the fight with the little pre-made videos. They didn't drag it out. That they knew how to do it. HBO did it right. They did it right, but I guess it was like either it was not profitable or something. They just decided to, when they canned HBO boxing, I couldn't believe it. I was like, after all these years, it's
Yeah.
such a crazy thing to do. They were the best. If you had an HBO boxing card and it was a big fight, fuck, I was pumped. It was like the quality of the product was so high level, and they only put on really great fights. Like if it got to HBO, that was going to be a great fucking
Right.
fight.
Well, comedy specials were the same way, right?
Sure, yeah. Now now it's weird because it's like the landscape is so filled with different platforms, and some guys take money over visibility. Like there's
Yeah.
young guys that have gotten offers for places, and I was like, listen, man, I think you should put it on YouTube.
For sure.
You're not going to make any money, but you got to think about that money investing in yourself because I
Right.
think you're really good. And I think that this material, if you put it on YouTube, it's going to go viral. It'll spread around.
Right.
And way more people will know
For sure.
about you.
I sorely regret my approach because my comedy specials are multimedia, and like I got stuff in there. I mean, the whole point of my comedy with the multimedia is to have stuff that you can't even show on Jackass.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
just like super extra naughty Jackass movie
Right.
collides with the stand-up show.
Right.
And I love that. I have so much fun with that. And when I put out my last one, I did this thing that Andrew Schultz did, The Moment. You know, like it's a paywall.
Oh, yeah.
It's his company Moment.
Right.
And that was me trying to make money off this special. I mean, I spent so much making it, you know, but whatever. I wish that I would have had no paywall whatsoever. Just, you know, I can't put it on YouTube, but put it on my website so that I could get the eyeballs, because I think in the long run that would benefit way more.
Why can't you put it on YouTube? Because the content?
Because the, like,
It's too extreme.
Nudity, violence, like literally.
That's going to be hard to distribute anywhere.
Well, right.
Even on a website, even on your website. That's just hard. That's just hard to get out.
Now I have my multimedia specials on my website with no paywall, totally free, like no ads.
Yeah.
Just go to stevo.com and check
Well,
it
Andrew
out.
did it very smart. Like, if you want to see it now, pay, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube in X amount of
Right.
months.
A lot of people got mad about that.
People get mad about everything.
Understood.
You got to always remember that, man. People
Right.
get mad about everything.
Right.
You can't concentrate on that.
I think that maybe they're a little bit more of a window, because for the people who are like, man, I just spent, you know.
Well, tell them what the window is.
Right.
Just if you want to do it that way, just tell them. I'm going to
Right.
put it on YouTube in 3 months.
Right. Understood.
But it all is like, how successful are you, right? So if you're a successful comedian and you do that, then your fans are like, hey, why do you need more money out of me? Why can't you just
Yeah.
release it? But if you're a successful comedian that's been kind of banished, like Louis C.K. was for a while, and then Louis C.K. has done a brilliant job
He's
of
so
putting
good at it.
everything on his website. Like
Yeah.
Harold and Pete, his animated show, Lucky Louie, all the different Louie,
Yeah.
the episodes. So what he did was really create his own thing that is like a one-stop shop of all things Louis C.K. and
100%.
it's really good.
And his mailing list.
Yeah.
I'm on his mailing list.
Me too.
And whenever I see an email from Louis C.K., I absolutely click on
Yeah,
it
'cause
because
it's
he
gonna be
does it-
funny.
He does it so masterfully.
Yeah, it's interesting and funny, and it's entertaining. It's an entertaining little thing that you get, and then he lets you know what he's doing, and he's never pressuring you into like. He's got the perfect balance, I think, of like capitalism and still being an artist.
Yep.
You know, it's the way to do it. But you know, everybody's at their own little path, and the problem with someone like Andrew is he's already like really successful. So it's like asking for money for a special. At this point, people are like, "Come on, man, just
Right.
fucking put it on YouTube." You know.
My next one, I'm absolutely determined to have no paywall.
Stanhope always said it best. He said basically your special is just an ad to
For
get
sure.
people to come see
Bill
you.
Burr said that.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
way, that's really what it is.
Right.
And you know, it's also like you got to retire material.
Yep.
You know, just let it go.
Oh, it's so
let it
hard for
sail
me.
out to sea and light it on fire.
It's so hard for me.
Of course it is.
Like,
Of course it is. It's hard for everybody.
yeah.
It's hard for everybody, but it's probably even harder for you because a lot of your stuff is physical. So
Right.
you have to like come up with new things that you could do to yourself. Staple your lips shut and
Yeah.
tie
Well,
your dick to your asshole.
I'm so happy with what I've got now. Like,
That's good.
yeah.
All right.
I'm thrilled with it. Okay, so
So
I was telling you, like, I spent this a couple years like really like
in the darkness.
in the darkness, yeah, and being
your feelings.
being very mindful to adjust my approach in a way that I felt really good about. There was
Okay.
the beginning of 2025. And I got like really heavy on like, you know, spirituality and faith. I'm that way anyway. Like I really care about that. January of 2025, I get on I get this opportunity to have Mark Wahlberg on my podcast, right? Like and I'm on there, and he's very like big into his
Very
faith.
Catholic, yeah.
Yeah, very very big into his Christianity, and And I was in the thick of it too at that point. I was like, man, I've been criticism for being a too much of a shill and this and that, and like
It really bothered you that much?
it kind of did, yeah. Because I was
Well, because it was accurate.
it was accurate. It absolutely. For example, last time I was here, I'm like, Joe, my butt wipes for my butthole, and you're like, that's bad for the plumbing.
It is bad for plumbing.
Right? And
You can't flush those things.
dude, what I wish I said in that moment when you said that how it's bad for plumbing, I'd seen on a package of dude wipes. It said, only flush one at a time, and you'll be okay. Maybe that's true. Now they've got. Dude, I stopped selling those.
Don't
fucking
flush
things.
anything other than toilet paper. Period.
Right.
Talk to any plumber.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Don't flush anything other than toilet paper.
But dude, like the internet had a field day when you shut down my butt wipes plug on here.
See,
and
I didn't even know about it. Isn't that
I
better?
love that. I love that. And
This episode is brought to you by Ketone IQ. The demands on my time, energy, and focus are immense. So when I need my brain to lock in for hours and hours and fire at its fastest, most alert state, I'm taking Ketone IQ. It's an energy shot powered by this little miracle molecule that your body already naturally makes, and your brain especially loves, ketones. I've been talking about ketones for over a decade, and this company's finally figured out how to put them in a bottle. When I take Ketone IQ, I drop right into a state of laser-like focus and sustained mental clarity, whether I'm podcasting, training in the gym, or just want to show up locked in when it matters. The difference is night and day with Ketone IQ. Visit ketone.com/Rogan for 30% off your subscription order. Or find Ketone IQ at Target stores nationwide in the protein and electrolyte aisle and get your first shot free. Plus, they have a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's how confident they are that you're going to love the increased focus you get from Ketone IQ.
And they had a field day because, like, me with the shilling
Right.
and you with the point about the plumbing, and it was just like. And like, fuck, I stopped selling those fucking things. I stopped selling everything.
We used to have a sponsor. It's not our sponsor anymore, but I want to tell people to get it anyway. It's a thing called Tushy. You put it on your...
Oh my God, dude, every
Yeah.
single time I promote Tushy on my podcast, I say it is my favorite podcast sponsor that I've ever had. And I know
excellent.
I know that that's not a wise thing to say. Like, if you think of all the other sponsors,
Right. They'll
I
get mad,
don't
yeah.
care. I don't care.
Well,
I
it's not
love
even our
Tushy the
sponsor
most.
anymore, but I tell everybody it's not
Oh my
expensive and it's legit and it cleans your butthole, and then you just need a little wipe to pat it down, and it feels.
And you're just drying it off.
Also, you feel better. Like you don't feel like you smeared shit all over your
Right.
butthole. Like I don't know if you have a hairy asshole, but I do.
Yeah.
I'm hairy everywhere. It's chaos down there if I don't trim it. So it's like you're wiping shit on the ass hairs and like.
Sure.
Ugh.
And that's that's what, like, as soon as I started using the Tushy,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, oh my God, now if I ever find myself having to take a shit and there's not a bidet,
Right.
now it's a crisis for me.
I know. Now you're like, ew.
Now I've got a problem, and that's why having the wet wipes, the butt wipes,
Yeah.
like, became so important, because if I don't have the bidet, like,
I
heaven
get it, but
forbid-
if you had shit smeared all over your fingernails and your hand, would you be happy just using a butt wipe and then having a sandwich? No, you would not. You would want to wash your fucking hands, right?
well, yeah, I
Butt
mean,
wipes are okay. It's okay. It's better than not having them, but you have to throw them in the garbage. So then you have
Yeah.
a shit smeared wet wipe in the fucking garbage, which is
Right.
kind of nasty. And you
Right.
walk in there, you can smell the shit, and no one's cleaned it yet. And so then you have to have a
It's-
plastic bag liner on your garbage can, because
there's
otherwise
no
you
good
get
solution.
yeah. Those Tushy things. I have one. We have them here at all the. It's not a Tushy, but it's another company.
Right.
On all our toilets, we have it at the mothership.
best. Oh my God,
it's the best. You have
Yeah.
to have those things.
I-
It changes your life.
And dude, and when you get the Tushy Ace, which has the heated seat,
Oh yeah.
the warm water,
Warm water's the key.
and then it blow dries your butthole.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
It's ready
the
for
best.
presentation.
Okay, so I sit down with Mark Wahlberg, and I'm talking about this, and I say, you know, how like, leaning into faith, like really just like it's so important, you know, like it's so important to me. And I had this meaningful conversation
Right.
with Mark Wahlberg about that. And then with the day the episode comes out, it didn't even occur to me until the day the episode came out. I was hiking with my dog through a fucking state park in Tennessee, and it strikes me, oh my God, I had the audacity, as I knew that the episode went out that day, I had the audacity to cut from this thoughtful conversation about faith with Mark Wahlberg to an ad for gambling. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't have to be in the comment section to see people saying, what a hypocrite. Like, oh my God.
Wait a
like,
minute. How does gambling make you a hypocrite?
I mean,
I don't think that makes you a hypocrite at all.
Right,
I don't listen. The gambling thing online, we should probably address this, is a very hot topic, and a lot of people criticize people for promoting gambling sites online. The problem is not gambling. The problem is people who are addicted to gambling. So the problem is self-control, right? And I'm not saying I'm a person who's immune to being addicted to gambling. I am sure that given other circumstances in my life, I could have easily gotten addicted to gambling, but I'm not. And I don't mind gambling on stuff. I think sometimes it's probably fun. The problem is people. You saw Uncut Gems, right?
Oh my God, best movie ever.
That is gambling. That is the problem with gambling.
That movie was so good.
Fucking amazing movie. Adam Sandler killed it in that movie. It's such a good movie.
Never felt so good
But the whole movie, I'm going like, oh, fucking don't do that. What the fuck are you doing, man? Don't do that.
Right.
Oh, Jesus, Adam.
You know what though? Like, I made a decision on that day hiking with my dog. I said I'm not gonna promote anything unless it's good for people.
Wow, good for you.
I said like I don't want to do harm, man. I don't
Good
like.
for you. I don't think it does harm. I think it does harm if you let it do harm, but I think food does harm if you let it do harm.
Oh
I
my
think
God,
alcohol
yeah.
does harm if you let it do harm.
Right.
I think marijuana, drugs, all kinds of things do harm if you let them do harm.
Right, but it's just it's in your face.
I understand.
It's shit, and I don't want to participate in that.
I get
it. And I just haven't done it since then. I feel good about that.
That's good.
So all these different things that I've done to be mindful, to feel more good about like how I approach my life and my career. And then coming into this year, 2026, I was like, oh man, like now with the MrBeast coming out, I'm like, oh, this is gonna change my life. We got a new Jackass movie coming out. Like I feel really good about how I've restored my my integrity. Like I feel good about myself for myself. And then Joe, oh my God. Then I have Harland Williams on my podcast. Okay, this guy is the most genius, like that. It's just so like you can't even understand the guy. Like
he's one of the weirdest, funny guys of all time.
Like,
this snake is on this desk because he kept it in his pants the entire episode, telling us that he had a tapeworm, and then he pulled it out at the end of the episode. And I've left it on the desk ever since. And when Trump was in here, I left it on the desk, and he got so excited. He goes, "Hey, buddy, thanks for keeping." What did he call it? Thanks for keeping Dimitri on the desk while Trump was in there. Like, he's just such an oddball.
He's so magnificent.
Such a great guy, too.
You know, and I record my podcast in an RV, right? I got like 3 different RVs that I use for it, and one I keep in Los Angeles. So we get to Harland Williams' house. For some reason, I'm driving, and I'm the fucking worst driver ever. And he's got this small driveway, and I'm trying to maneuver it around. And I get out of the van, and I'm like, I don't know how I can be such a fucking bad driver. And just like that, Harland Williams says to me, he goes, "It's AIDS, Steve-O. You have AIDS." Just like the most fucking absurd thing. And so like going into this podcast, I'm like, all right, like now we're entering the realm of the absurd. You know, like let's play with Harland Williams. Okay. At some point in the episode, the most fucking dumb idea that ever popped in my head, but you want to be like a step ahead and like figure out how like we're gonna keep this going. Like what am I, where are we going to next?
Right.
So I say to Harland Williams, I'm like, I think at one point I said, how about politics? You know, like just thinking to myself, this absurd guy, if you ask him about politics, like how does his absurdity like navigate that? And that's what motivated me. So then somewhere in this back and forth, like effectively I say like, oh yeah, well all this shit with ICE makes perfect sense because the majority of immigrants are murderers, right? This is the most patently fucking absurd comment that I've ever made on the podcast. And yet, after it comes out, it gets clipped on its own. And it genuinely looks like I'm not kidding. Even though you cut to Harlan Williams, but it genuinely looks like I wasn't fucking kidding.
Right.
And then I open up my phone, and it's like, basically rotten hell, use that, like, you know, like you think like all immigrants are murderers. Like, Joe, I could not be more the opposite of that.
Right.
You know, like
you're being sarcastic.
I could not have been more like, I could not have been less serious.
Right.
It was the most absurd, fucking deliberately sarcastic thing I'd ever said. And dude, I just like now, and I was in this place. I was so excited, like, man, and I was so excited about doing my podcast. It was going, you know, and then now I'm just like deluged with this tsunami of hate. And that's what's so, you know.
Did you respond?
I did.
Yeah, just say this is just
I
fucking around.
I posted on my Instagram.
Okay.
Like for clarification, I said I said I was so shocked to believe that this absurd comment that I made was like taken seriously. But like, just, you know, I can't believe I'm gonna have to do this. But for the record, you know, less than 0.1% of the population is ever gonna commit murder. Of course. The majority of no group of fucking people is going to commit murder. But if you want to know how I actually feel, if there's a group of people that's more likely to murder someone, it's ICE agents, you know, like, and so then as soon as I post that, now like the whole other half of the world fucking hates me.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that either.
Right, there you go, you know, like, and my sister is my voice of reason. She, like, I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And she like made like one small tweak. She's like, go for it. I just posted that. I don't even mind. You know, like, I don't even mind that. I feel like if people are going to hate me, let them hate me for, like, how I actually feel, you know? Like,
right.
And,
is that your watch? How dare you?
Yeah, it's my dad. I put my shit on do not disturb.
Maybe your dad goes through because he's, like, one of your favorites.
Yeah. He's on my speed dial. But, yeah, so it was just a terrible fucking episode that I just went through. And we set this up, like, a couple months ago. Like, this happened like maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So I was like, when I was texting with you, I was like, oh man, I was in a, you know, like shitty place. I'm feeling really rad, dude. Like, it'd be great to get together. And then now, since then, I'm like in a shitty place.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously that ICE subject is a very hot subject.
Yeah.
People have gotten mad at me for my takes on it as well. You have to
right.
ignore it.
And
you
know
just
what?
have
Like,
to speak your mind, say what you really feel.
If I'm honest, I regret all of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could have worded my clarification in a way that made a lot more sense. It bothered me so much to be so badly misunderstood. Yeah. You know? Like,
when you talk sarcastically with a guy like Harlan Williams, when you fuck around and you say things you don't really mean, that's going to happen. I mean, Duncan is the best at that. Like Duncan Trussell, like he will have entire podcasts where he pretends he's in the Illuminati, and he'll talk to another comic who pretends he's one of the Rothschilds. Our friend Tony Tony Casillas gets on his podcast, and what does Tony pretend? A Rockefeller or a Rothschild? One of them. Yeah. So I think it's a Rockefeller. I might be wrong, but I mean, he dyes his hair for the episode and everything, and it's so ridiculous, and people think he really is one of those people.
Yeah.
Now. Meanwhile, he's a doorman at the mothership. But Duncan will go through an entire podcast without breaking character. They'll talk about how important it is to control the population. They'll talk about how important it is to, you know, spread misinformation and keep people in the dark, and how stupid the plebs are.
Yeah, I'm too fucking sensitive, man. You know, like.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's not just that you're sensitive. It seems like you're seeking out input. You're seeking out feedback, and I think you're a little too famous for that. I just don't think it's healthy.
Yeah.
I've known so many people that are loved by so many, and yet they'll still find the people that hate them and dwell on that. And I've seen it with like very successful people.
Yeah.
It's just Louis said it best. Louis C.K. said it best. He said the internet is just talk. It's just it's written down, so it seems more real.
Right, okay.
Because it stays up there forever. But it's just talk, just like people talk at a bar. Fuck that guy. People say things, and they're not necessarily rational. They're not necessarily, their opinions aren't necessarily valuable. Some of them are, and some of them aren't. But to go through all that and figure it out, the problem is your brain only recognizes threats, danger, and people that hate you, right? So you get 100 people that love you, but one person who says you fucking suck, and you'll just think about that guy like, oh no, that guy, he used to be a fan. Like, I unfollowed him a long time ago. Like, ugh.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And another thing that to that point, here, I thought that when this MrBeast video came out and I won $1 million, I gave it to Doctors Without Borders. Like, I just thought, oh man, this is going to be life altering. And like, it came in, like, I had one kid come up to me in an airport and say, dude, you're Steve-O from MrBeast. And I was like,
funny.
oh wow.
Different generation.
But other than that, I thought it would be life altering, and it really wasn't.
Yeah.
And then so now, like, in this little, like, this whatever you want to call it, backlash, this like thing, like, to me it feels like the whole world hates me, like, when in reality it's probably not.
No, reality, everybody feels about you the exact same way they did before.
Right, it's crazy, man. It's crazy because like I'll walk around and think like, man, like, people are looking at me, maybe they hate me.
I was talking to a friend of mine who was one of the earlier ones to get canceled. This was quite a few years ago. This was like more than 10 years ago. Something happened online, and someone said something about something that he said that was patently false, but a lot of people believed it. And he was, he made his own statement, but then he said, everywhere I go, he goes, I know this was small and it was only in the comedy community, but everywhere I went, I felt like these people hated me. They knew who they were and they were judging me. So it was like, it was tainting my feelings everywhere I went.
Right.
Now imagine being Monica Lewinsky.
Oh my God, I know.
Okay, so no internet, right?
Right.
So this is like, there's no way to tell whether people are siding with you or not. And everybody knows you suck the president's dick and you're 20. And you have to go to the store, you have to date guys.
I know.
And if you don't blow a guy, he's like, what the fuck? You're like famous for it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's...
Every time she's probably giving head, she's thinking, oh my God, why am I doing this? This is what got me in all this trouble in the first place.
Right.
I can imagine that kind of weirdness. Do you remember she did an HBO thing? She did an HBO thing way, way back in the day where she sat down to talk about what this experience has been like for her. And it was weird because there was a guy in the audience that, like, she was, like, taking questions, I guess. And the guy in the audience was like, why are you doing this? Like, you say you don't want attention, but here you are just getting more attention talking about it. And, like, you could tell, like, she didn't really think that through. Like, that someone was going to have that kind of a response. And it was like, that was kind of like at the end of the thing.
I think that, like, when you're in that kind of a situation, you want to, on some level, clarify.
Right.
Like, you want to.
Right.
You want to say
your
like,
side of it.
You're right.
But your side of it, ultimately, for most people, is going to be trying to make yourself look better. Right? And I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Because that's very transparent. And
Right.
people kind of know what you're doing. I think it's always better, like what you just did, where you said, like, maybe I did overreact, or maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe that's a stupid thing to say. Like, be much more real about how you feel about things.
Oh, I fucking blew it, Joe.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, but it doesn't matter, man. I'm telling you, this is all in your head. Everybody still loves you.
Right. Well,
you're the same guy. The people who love you will always love you. The people who hate you, it's like, it's very rare that someone who really loves you hates you. Like, if they do, they're usually mentally ill and they want to. Like, I remember when I was a kid, people would get mad if bands became famous. And they'd be like, fuck those guys. They're sellouts. And I remember we were in high school. I go, let me get this straight. This is me at like 16. I go, you love them. You think they're awesome, right? Yeah. I go, but when more people know they're awesome, then they're not awesome anymore because now they're mainstream. He goes, yeah. I go, do you know how fucking dumb that sounds? Either they are awesome or they are not. If they are awesome, more people should know they are awesome.
Right.
And we're all just sitting around, and a couple of my friends go, yeah. Like, yeah, this idea of like being underground is fucking retarded. Like,
Right.
why would you want that? If you're great, people are going to find out about you.
Right.
It doesn't mean you sold out. It just means other people found out you were great. Like, you recognize something, and you think you're unique in your talent to recognize
Right.
really good music, and only you can appreciate it. And if other people appreciate it, then all of a sudden it's not good. That is the dumbest fucking way to think I've ever encountered in my life.
I mean, to be fair, I think that the criticism at that point is when
They change.
they're trying to
Yes.
to reach a more broad audience.
Right.
And, you
But
know,
there's a lot of bands, like,
Sure.
for instance, that are not doing that. And they
Right.
they just fucking hit. Like, people are mad at Nirvana for getting big.
Right.
Like, okay.
Right, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just being a devil's advocate.
Well, I get it. I
Right.
mean, but my point is, it's a human inclination where you feel like you're a part of a small, select group
Right,
that really
right.
values and appreciates something. And all these normies, these fuckheads, listening to fucking Debbie Gibson or whoever they're listening to, you don't want those assholes listening to your
Right.
super cool music. But if it's like Nirvana, guess what? It's so good that everyone is going to want to listen
Right.
to that. And then it becomes big. You're like, fuck those guys. They fucking sold out. Like,
Right.
it's just you're just mad at yourself. You're mad at your life. You're mad at your position in this universe.
Well, I think that life is just getting really difficult too.
Well,
you
this
know?
is now true.
Right.
But we're talking about people were doing this back
Right,
in the
right,
fucking
right,
80s. They've always done this, man.
Yeah.
This is just how people behave. And you add that to the internet, and it just, everything's
Right.
accelerated.
Right.
Times 10, times 100, times a million, whatever the fuck it is now. And this is just the beginning. You know, we're at the brink of something really crazy. As soon as AI takes over our society, which is like within years, we're going to experience the most radical change this civilization has ever
storm.
experienced. Yeah.
Like it's literally a perfect storm, with just the unsustainable debt.
Well, that's part of it.
I mean, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's part
because-
of it. But it's like, even if there was unsustainable debt, you have an artificial life form that's emerging that's
Well, right.
infinitely smarter than human beings
What I'm saying is that
and has autonomy.
the unsustainable debt, like already over $1 trillion just paying for the interest alone. You
Right.
know, like there's all that now, like, you know, other nations, central banks, whatever, like. They want to de-dollarize. They're not buying the United States treasuries the way they were, and that's like how the United States has been able to overspend, is because they can sell the treasuries. Now, without people selling the treasuries, the only buyer of the treasuries is the Fed, and they're buying the treasuries with printing money.
Is that accurate?
I
Like
think
what
it's
you just
pretty.
said?
I think it's.
Other countries aren't buying our treasuries anymore?
Less so. It's becoming less. It's of course there's still, like, the United States treasuries is the most liquid, like, you know, but less so. So when it becomes more difficult for the United States to sell its treasuries, they got to increase the yield, which means bigger interest payments. So at a certain point, it's like just paying the interest on the debt is like a crippling thing. And by the Fed printing money the way they're printing, you can't inflate the money supply without devaluing the dollar.
Right.
So inflation more and more is going to be a thing. Maybe not Weimar Germany or like Zimbabwe inflation, but still, inflation is not going to go away. You just can't have the money supply increase without that being the case. And so people's purchasing power goes down. Their wages aren't going up, so
Right.
like people are getting more and more squeezed with how much money they can afford to spend, and then on top of that, AI comes and wipes out all their jobs.
Yeah. It's spooky. It's spooky because no one really knows exactly what's going to happen, you know, or how it's going to happen, or how people will be compensated in order to keep society functional. You know, Elon has this utopian vision of universal high income.
Yeah,
that people
UBI, Universal Basic
No,
Income.
no,
Oh, Universal
no.
High Income?
Yeah, no. His utopian vision is that so much money will be generated from AI that you'll be able to give people universal high income. so they won't have to work. And so they'll be able to do whatever they want to do with their life. That's the ideal perspective. The problem is, obviously, that people find a lot of identity in their work.
Sure. I mean,
especially if you went to school for it, you love it, this is the thing you've done, you've been a lawyer your whole life, you've been a doctor your whole life, you've been a this your whole life, and then all of a sudden AI comes in and wipes that out. And like, what are you going to do? You're going to play golf all day?
Right.
And then you have a fixed income now, because even if it's universal high income, there's no incentive for you to work harder and get more things done and make more money, which is what drives a lot of people and drives a lot of innovation. So then is all innovation left up to artificial intelligence? Is that what we're really going to do? Because that seems kind of crazy.
It's so crazy. I gotta wonder, like,
our power.
What keeps you going? I mean, like you're in here doing these podcasts all the time with the UFC, with like, you know, like you don't have to be doing this.
Everything I do is fun. I would do everything I do for free. And I do all the time. I do stand-up for free all the time. I do guest spots all the time. Everybody does. Every comic does.
Oh, my God. Did I have so much fucking fun at Kill Tony last night?
Oh, it's the best show. It's the best show on earth.
He's so unbelievably talented.
He's the best host of any live comedy show, rather, of all time.
There's no way.
He's so good at it.
The amount of time when something is presented that he nails the funniest possible thing that you could react.
Yeah, like it's written. Like you had a team of writers sitting there for
100%
a week coming up with the best line, and it busts off the top of his head, and it's always mean. He's the best.
Okay.
He's the best.
I know that he's sensitive about. Oh man, he wouldn't have wanted me to say I was on it last night.
Why?
Because before the show, he'd ask the audience, "Don't give away the secret of who's the guest."
It doesn't matter.
All right. Then I'll say one thing because it was so.
Don't say what happened, because this show's going to come out before that happens.
Right.
Don't do that.
I'll tell you. It's just. Suffice it to say that Tony Hinchcliffe has got to be the fastest, wittiest fucking comic I've ever.
Well, he's the best at that format, and he created it, right? So it's like a genius idea. Have comics do 1 minute. Dude, comics have done 1 minute the first time they've ever been on stage at Madison Square Garden in front of 16,000 people and fucking ate dick.
Right.
It's a great show. And then he has, guys like Dave Attell, Shane Gillis,
sure.
fucking Harlan is like one of the greatest guests of all time.
Donnell.
Yeah, Donnell's amazing. He's got, there's just so many.
And like
Kyle Dunnigan, who does like 5 different characters that are incredible.
Yeah, such high level comics.
Adam Ray.
I mean, maybe right, but I'm saying like high level feature comics. Who aren't like super known.
Who
but
do
they're
1 minute
so
as well.
Good.
Yeah.
They're seeking out to go. I brought my opener from tour. A guy who's not like widely known, but I just love him, and he's so funny, he's so good. And
he put his name in the barrel.
Put his name in the barrel.
That's the thing too. If people asking me to get them on Kill Tony, I cannot. No one can. That is true. That barrel is legit. That barrel is legit.
Right.
You reach into that barrel, Tony grabs whatever piece of paper his hands touch, and he pulls it out, and that's how it's always been done, and that's how he's always going to do it. Because people come to him all the time, hey, could you get my friend on the show? He's like, I cannot do that. That is the show.
Thank God.
It's got to be chance. It's got to be chaos. That's part of the fun of it.
Right.
And then every now and then, someone that you've never heard of comes up and does a minute, and everybody goes, fuck yeah, that was awesome.
Right.
And then they kill it, and all of a sudden they have a career.
Right.
It's great.
Okay.
It's the cornerstone of stand-up, too. It really is. Because it's wild. It's like there are no rules. It's no holds barred. And you've got great comics on the panel. And it has launched careers.
For sure.
So because of that, it is so important for us having Kill Tony at the club. It's so important because it sets the tone for all these comics to know, hey, this isn't just like some random thing of I don't know what I'm doing. How do I figure it out? How do I get seen? There's a pathway. And if you can get on Kill Tony and if you can work your ass off before then and build up a real solid routine and go on there and kill it, you can have a fucking career. It's real.
Yep.
And then the club has 2 nights of open mic nights, and there's a real development program and a real talent coordinator, Adam Egan, who watches sets and gives you feedback.
The opener that I'm talking about, and he drove all the way from Tampa to be there last night. His name's Chris Harvey. He's 6'4", 480 pounds, missing tooth, beard, funniest guy.
Where's he from?
He's from Ohio. Is it Dayton? I'm not sure where now, but I was at a comedy club in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and they just set him up to open for me. I watched his set. I was like, "What are you doing for the next 3 weeks?"
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So
and
did he get up on the open mic night?
That's why I texted Tony like, "Hey, I've got this opener. Can I get him on?" And Tony said, "I can get him in the bucket. Who knows if I'll pull him out, but I can also get him on the open mic to perform for the booker." So he did that.
Nice.
And
yeah, it's important that you can't just get on the show.
Yeah,
because
that's
then
great.
his phone would be just overrun with people. Get my boy on, and then some of them suck, and
that makes perfect sense.
yeah, you have to just let it happen. If they suck, they suck. If they don't, they're it's like anything can happen.
Well,
and that's part of the beauty of it. It's like a real magical moment when you reach into that bucket and you pull out a name and Bob Smith, and then Bob Smith comes on out and gives it a shot.
Characters. I mean, dude, it was. I just had so much fun, man. And
I don't like being on the end because you're too close to these psychos. Like, you never know. Like I'm always on edge.
That's funny.
You want to be like protected by like one body.
Apologies to Tony for giving away that I was on it last night.
He's not going to care.
That I want to talk about. I watched Brian Callen's special, very recent, at the Mothership. Like it was like you got all these people like whenever anybody that's the thing about fucking comedy is it's so subjective that like it's just if anybody can shit on a special if they want. And I saw these like the YouTube videos, like, "Oh, Brian Callen, this is the worst bomb is gonna like end his career." And I was like, "Come on, like let me watch this." I fucking enjoyed the hell out of Brian Callen's special, his one that he just taped at the Mothership.
That's great. You gotta stop paying attention to people.
Yeah, I enjoy.
Because people want it to suck. Like there's people that think everything. Think Chappelle's last special sucked. There's people,
oh my God! Can we talk about that?
I haven't seen it yet. Still.
Okay,
but I heard it was awesome.
The Riyadh,
from people that I trust.
The Riyadh Comedy Festival, right? Like it was such like an apocalyptic fucking nuclear bomb in the world.
Did you go to that?
I didn't. No, but like there was so much backlash for people who went to it, and there were like individual comics had their own way of kind of defending their move to a lot of comics were very defensive about how they went, and a lot of them maybe like seemed a little bit disingenuous about in their defense. And then dude, Dave Chappelle puts out this special and so unapologetic about him being at the Riyadh Comedy. It was just like it was so fucking masterful.
Oh, he's a master.
The way he was just like, I went to Riyadh and got paid like a fuck ton of money to do comedy, and like so unapologetic, and it was just like, oh my God.
Well, the idea is that you support the regime by doing stand-up over there, which I think is crazy, because you're doing it for the audience members, and the audience members have no say in who their government is. They're literally in a monarchy.
I'm not even, I don't even have a judgment whatsoever, especially because have I ever not watched a UFC event because it happened in Saudi Arabia?
Or,
Fuck no.
Or Dubai or wherever.
Right.
Yeah, you don't do that with sporting events, but you do it with comedy. I think the idea is that comedians are supposed to be social commentators, and they're supposed to like carry a baton for free speech. And one of the particularly egregious things that's been attributed to Saudi Arabia was the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, who was a journalist from the Washington Post, who was killed at the Turkish embassy, and they cut him up with a fucking bone saw and some dark shit. Yeah, I get it. I get the criticism, and I get people saying, well, I'm going to perform for my audience, and my audience is over there. And if they say I can't make fun of, I think you can't make fun of the monarchy, you can't make fun of the leaders or the government, and you can't make fun of Islam or religion. Right. I think maybe it might just be religion, period.
I think you can't be disparaging of Islam or the royal family.
Yeah. All right, well, you got to decide then if you know what those parameters are. If maybe it doesn't fit with your act at all, or maybe you're like, I don't have any bits about the royal family, or I could just go over and do my act for a bunch of people uncensored.
Right. I mean, I thought about it.
I see both sides.
I don't give a shit one way or the other. My only input here is that Dave Chappelle, like, checkmated.
Of course.
The whole fucking
he
thing.
handles everything perfectly. And again, he's not on social media. He's not paying attention to people's opinions of him. You cannot, because there's so many people that have decided that he was a horrible transphobe for telling a story about his transgender friend. Like, I mean, literally told this story about this person in his act, and people didn't care because he made jokes about trans people. Like, of course, it's in the public eye. This idea that you can't joke about something is if there's a thing you can't joke about, that thing is fucked up. And that's why the Lakota used to have a sacred clown. They called it a heyoka. And a heyoka was like a member of the community that was supposed to make fun of everything. And if you couldn't make fun of anything, then you knew something was wrong with that thing. Because if there's a thing that you can't joke around about, that thing has been compromised, right? Because you can kind of joke around about everything if it's actually funny, no matter what it is.
Sure.
Even tragedy, given enough time, you can joke around about it.
Yep.
I mean, you could do a 9/11
God.
joke right now, and no one's gonna blink.
Oh my God, you remind me of what I think was the funniest fucking tweet that I ever saw from Jeff Ross. Going back, the year I want to say was like 2016. The Magic Castle in Los Angeles. There was like in the magicians, when a magician was found hanging in a closet in the Magic Castle.
Yeah, he committed suicide.
Had taken his own life.
Yeah.
That morning, Jeff Ross tweeted that his last words were abracadaver.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking funny.
That's such a Jeff Ross type joke. That's a Tony Hinchcliffe type joke too. Yeah, silly.
Abracadaver.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a thing that you can't make fun of, that thing is usually bullshit. And if that thing is trans people, like then you are ignoring that there's a glaring hole in this narrative that you're trying to push, and whether or not people are accepting that narrative.
I'll be spilling out some of the stuff that I have in my current hour, and I really don't mind. For me, I feel like the bar's got to keep getting higher and keep getting higher. And so as I went into putting together this new hour that I'm touring with, one of my multimedia bits, like, ended up not being a really great idea, but I thought, I'm going to get a fucking boob job.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Right.
Did you do it?
I didn't. I was within 10 hours of being under the knife.
Yeah,
and
do that.
like the universe just intervened, right?
Because they have to cut your muscle, man.
Right. Well, like, I mean, the...
Don't they? Or do they go under the skin? They go through your nipples?
You can do it in multiple different ways. I was told... I was interested in just the idea. See, because... Like I'm now in my 50s, right? And so like my whole new hour is the theme of it is how the fuck is Steve-O supposed to be in his 50s? Like, and so with the putting the stuff up my butt section is like the importance of, like, we're at an age we got to get prostate exams, colonoscopies, that's a real thing. And so I'm trying to like destigmatize the prostate exam.
Right. Sure you are.
Right.
You're definitely not putting things up your ass for entertainment.
I'm blending it together, and it's pretty awesome. And one of my things is like it's a rite of passage for men in middle age to one day you realize, holy fuck, I'm getting tits. I noticed it one time. I'm like, I got dimples, like actual fucking underboob over here. And it's fucking like, this wasn't supposed to happen to me. And so like that kind of was my motivation. I'm like, if this is going to happen, then like I'm lashing out at Father Time. I'm going to get a boob job. So I had the guy, famous plastic surgeon from Botched, Terry Dubrow, on my podcast. And I was
Is he one of those guys that fixes people?
Yeah, Botched. He's great. I love that guy. Happened to be brothers with the lead singer of Quiet Riot, too.
No way.
Yeah.
Come on, feel the noise.
Terry Dubrow, and
that's crazy.
He was epic. So on the podcast, I was like, hey, I'm thinking about a wild, crazy stunt, like get a boob job, and then just like film a bunch of pranks and stunts, and then get it out. Like wild publicity stunt. I feel like the whole world's gonna know about it. And he had me take off my shirt, and he's like, yeah, your skin is already loose enough. You could fit double D implants. He says, but you got to get them out within 2 months, or the stretching would be unmanageable. And I'm like,
boy.
And in my head, I'm thinking, this is the loudest, fucking craziest. Like, this is where the bar's at, you know? Like the
You need better friends.
the level.
You really do.
The level of commitment to do something that fucked up. Like, I just thought. And I was really into the idea, and I got super
Call
close.
me next time. Just fucking call me, dude.
You know,
Don't.
Dana said the same thing.
Yeah, don't do that. Call
Dana
me.
said the same thing. So now, like, I had blabbed it to the media, which is why you'd heard about it. That so, you know, there are all these articles. Mm-hmm. It's the night before my fucking operation, and I get a phone call, like, from the doctor's whatever guy. He says, "Hey, buddy, we hit a snag, man. Like, the anesthesiologist backed out. You know, we got to reschedule the surgery." I'm like, fuck, man. So now the next day they're trying to reschedule it, and I'm buying groceries in the supermarket in LA, and the person ringing me up on the cash register is like, seems pretty evidently transgender, and I'm just like, dude, it's like the fucking universe is giving me signs over here, you know? And so, like, I ask this. Didn't even occur to me up to this point that I need to, like, run it by anybody, because I'm like, fuck it, my body, my choice, who cares? You know, I'm doing a dumb stunt to, like, you know, be crazy. But in this situation, talk to this transgender person, like, hey, can I run something by you? And I spoke with them. They described to me a level of oppression that genuinely fucking broke my heart. They said, hey, let me tell you, like, I am not allowed to use the bathroom at my own place of work. We've got, like, politics.
That's not true. They're just not allowed to use the bathroom. It doesn't align with their biological sex.
Okay.
But you got to realize, they're not all. Listen, I genuinely think there's people that feel like they are in the wrong biological sex.
Sure.
Right? But there's also people that are fucking perverts. And they have a thing called autogynephilia. And what that is they get a turn on by pretending to be a woman. They get excited by it. And they want to be around women. And they're creeps. And so you give them a fucking Willy Wonka golden ticket to go into the women's locker room and the women's bathroom and stare at women and pretend you're a woman when you're just a crazy man. And you're actually into women.
Okay.
That's real too, man.
I don't doubt that that's real, and I know that it's a super complex, nuanced thing. And
but here's what's not complex. What is your chromosomes?
Right.
Okay? This is the same thing for competing. Right. All these fucking mental gymnastics that seemingly intelligent people do to justify biological males competing with females.
Oh, I'm with the, I don't think anybody's
It's the
arguing
same
that.
thing.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Right.
And especially as speaking as a man who has daughters, like, there are creeps. And if you give a creep, and I'm not saying all trans people are creeps,
right,
but a lot of these fucking people that are in trouble for going into women's bathrooms dressed as a woman with a fucking beard and a heart on are just that. They're creeps.
Right, okay.
They're crazy men. And these crazy men, their entire life, they would get beaten up for that. And now all of a sudden, they have to be accepted. So you've got two things going on at the same time.
For sure.
You've got people with gender dysphoria that genuinely wish they were a woman or genuinely wish they were a man. And by the way, it's men that are the problem. No one gives a fuck about trans men going into the men's bathroom. Come on in. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? Oh, a girl's going to shit next to you? Or what is she going to do? She's going to pee out of a funnel?
Right,
what is she going to do? Like,
hey,
no one's going to get hurt.
I'm not arguing
no
with
one's
you
going to get hurt. This is the problem. When you allow perverts to have this hall pass to go into women's locker rooms and bathrooms.
Yeah.
So you can't say you're not allowed to use the bathroom where you work. That's not true. You're just not allowed to use the women's room where other women are in there because you're not a woman. And I know you wish you were a woman or whatever's going on.
Okay.
But you're
not.
not.
Know what? You make a very, very good point.
If you're a woman, talk to most women about this. And it's unless they're insanely captured by this woke ideology where they can't see reality and the fact that perverts are still a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
And this loophole. You've given loopholes. Like, there's men in prison. I think it's like 47 biological males in California are housed in women's prisons. Some of them are sex offenders. Some of them in Canada. There's a guy in Canada that they had to pay for his boob job while he was in jail for being a sex offender, and they put him in a women's prison. Yeah.
I'm not arguing with
There's
any of that.
men who have pretended to be women, gone into women's prison, had sex with women and impregnated them. There's men who have sexually assaulted and raped women in prison that are pretending to be women with functional dicks. All they have to do is identify, air quotes. When you just have to identify, that's it. No operation, no nothing, identify. That is bonkers. And do you think they're giving them estrogen when they get in prison? Do they give hormone replacement therapy to people in prison? I don't know. But even then, it's still a man with estrogen. You can't escape your fucking chromosomes, okay? And until you can, until there's some sort of a CRISPR thing that like, you really want to be a woman, we can turn you into an actual woman. Until that happens, what you're dealing with is a form of gender dysphoria, which has always been classified as a mental illness until people became much more empathetic and sensitive to people that have this problem.
Right. And you make a completely valid argument.
Nobody should be able to tell you can't do something fucking stupid like get a boob job because they are transgender. That's crazy.
Understood. My experience was that I didn't get any of this, like, sense that this was a creepy pervert, anything like that. I just thought
they don't have to be a creepy pervert.
Right.
Right. But it's still a man.
Understood. I just thought, man, I heard what they had to say about, politicians trying to put them in internment camps and,
Who's doing that? What politicians are saying they should be put in internment camps?
I think that there was some kind of
there might be one kook out there that's saying that to try to get attention. There's no movement to try to put transgender people in internment camps.
Okay, well then I'll land on this.
Do you know who's killed more people than ICE this year? Trans shooters. Do you know the majority of these high school shootings have been transgender people?
I did not know that.
Yeah. How many of them? There was one recently, and yeah, it's a lot of them. You know why? Because they're giving them psych medications, they're giving them a bunch of crazy hormones, and a lot of them probably have mental struggles already, and they're ostracized from society, and fill in the blank, and then they're empowered by thinking that the world has done something bad to them, and that there's like a genocide against trans people, and they attack J.K. Rowling, and they attack all these people. Martina Navratilova, who's like a famous lesbian, for being a bigot because she doesn't want biological men competing with women in tennis. It's nuts, man. And it's either you go by biology or you do not. Either you go by XY chromosome, or then you're in this weird fucking gray area where someone could just tell you they're a woman. And that's how you get men in women's prisons.
Yeah. All right. You've convinced me.
It doesn't mean you can't be kind.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't. I try to be kind to everyone. And if I meet someone who's trans, if they want me to call them Stacy or whatever, like I know a couple trans people. My friend Jim Norton is married to a trans woman.
Yeah.
I'm super cool with them. Hug her every time I see her. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if I was a woman, I want biological women in my. I think the solution is individual bathrooms whenever feasible. And if you want to have an all-gender bathroom, good luck with the legal ramifications of that if it's a bar, because then any guy can fucking go in there, and any guy and girl can get a if it's a multiple stall bathroom.
Right.
But the solution is XY chromosome. And the solution is, like, if a guy walks into the men's room with a dress on and he's trans, just leave him alone. Leave him alone. Let him go to the bathroom. Like, what is the big deal?
Yeah.
You're like, at the end of the day, we have to understand that, like, what is more important? One person's feelings or the safety of all these women? And the safety of all these women is much more important.
Yep.
So you gotta be kind to people, but also you gotta have rules. There's a reason why there's a woman's room and a men's room. It's because some men are fucking creeps. And if you allow those creeps to just put on a dress, and again, I'm not saying all trans people are like this at all, but you can't have that loophole. You can't. That's like you can't have an open border. Doesn't mean that all immigrants are murderers, and you don't think that either, right? But
don't.
some people that sneak across the border, if you don't check, are going to be murderers. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
So you have to have a fucking closed border to check, and you have to have a gender border too.
Yeah. Well, God damn it. And my only takeaway from my experience that I was relating to you is that it made me feel compassionate.
Well, that's
And
nice.
I want to be a good.
That's good. A better reason would be it's fucking stupid to get a boob job. Don't do it. No one's gonna like you more. I think you're cool because you got a boob job at
Right.
52.
I'm glad.
Don't.
I'm glad that.
How old are you now?
51.
Yeah, that's too old for a boob job.
Yeah.
Even if you're a girl.
I'm.
Stop. Unless
I'm
you
really,
just got divorced, you're like, I need some new dick. I gotta go.
I'm really glad that I didn't do it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But if you were here with a boob, with two giant boobs, I'd be like, I don't know what to say to this guy. This is so stupid.
You know who was into the idea, thought it was fucking really funny, was Bird.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Also, he has his own boobs. So, you know.
Right.
Bert goes back and forth, but he's light now. He quit drinking for like 6 months.
Oh man, and
He had a little bit of a health scare.
his fucking sitcom on Netflix is
It's really
so
good.
So
He's
good.
funny, man. He's a fun dude. It's just like he's another guy that is like a little overexposed. He does so much promotion and so much stuff, like you. You know, like talking about that thing where you get the negative feedback.
Yeah.
You got a lot of negative feedback for over promoting shows, but don't listen. Don't watch it. Who cares?
Right.
If you think he's promoting himself too much, just don't pay attention.
Let me run this by.
There's
you.
shit to be angry about in the world.
Sure.
Bert Kreischer promoting a comedy special is not on that list.
Right. Let me run this by you.
Okay.
Okay, so I decide I'm only going to promote things that are healthy, you know, or at the very least don't do harm.
Okay.
Felt really good about that.
All right. So what are you promoting that you have a problem with?
Well, I see this guy Brian Johnson. The
guy who wants to live forever.
the guy wants to live forever. I'm fascinated by him.
Okay.
I had him on my podcast, and you know, I mean, he's a unique guy, but I see him. He's on this warpath against AG1, and I'm like, God damn it! You know, I'm like,
Right, but he sells a competing supplement.
right. That sounds.
Here's
like,
the thing about
I
AG1.
for what it's worth, I drink AG1 every goddamn day, and I
It's a
love it.
vitamin. It's a multivitamin. It's not the end all be all. It's going to fix your health, but vitamins are good for you. And if you can get vitamins in a simple travel pack like AG1 has and throw them in your book bag and take them with you places, it's better than not having vitamins. Period. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem that people have with AG1 is maybe they overstated some of the benefits of the probiotics and prebiotics. Like when people have analyzed the nutrient density of these packs and what the ingredients is, that's been their criticism. But criticizing a multivitamin that you're taking in a liquid form, like that seems kind of silly. Like is it going to be the best thing that you've ever done for your health? No, being in shape and eating well is the best thing you've ever done for your health. But having like some sort of nutritional insurance, some sort of a little thing that you add to your food every day, to your
It's designed to fill in the gaps in your diet.
It's a good thing to have vitamins. Period. That's it. Vitamins are good.
And it tastes good.
It's simple.
A lot of people say AG1
very
doesn't
simple.
taste good. I like the way it
You know, and
tastes.
if you think it's too expensive or you think it's not good enough, then okay, don't take it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But if you take it, it's not bad for you. There's a lot of things that are bad for you. AG1's not bad for you. It's fucking vitamins. Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff.
Okay, good.
Take it or don't take it. Who cares? You know, people worry too much, again, about stupid fucking shit. You have a brief amount of time in this. You're halfway dead, Bubba. You know,
Right.
you don't have much time on this planet to be worrying about stupid shit.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't do it, man.
Okay, I just want to be a good guy.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Then just be a good guy.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it all the time.
Good.
That shit ain't good for you.
Yeah.
Don't be in your head. Like
You know what?
like you're in your head worrying about your public image. You're in your head worried about where you are in your career. You're in your head. Just do your best.
Yeah.
Just do your best all the time.
Yeah.
If you enjoy what you're doing and you do your best, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Or not.
I
Or
do.
you die. You know, like you can't control that either. So just keep going.
Yeah.
Just stop being in your head. Everybody is like, you've got this all mapped out, and a lot of what you're mapping out is other people's opinions of you. Like, oh, there's no better way to fuck up your life than to live for other people's opinions.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, do self-auditing, do some self-assessing. There's many times in my life when I'm unhappy with myself. And so I fix it. Figure it out. Fix it. Do it, but do better. Fix that, fix this. Don't do as much of that. Do less of this. Do more of what you think is good,
Yep.
Try to be a nicer person. Try to be kind. It's like you can, but don't sit around worrying about what each individual commenter thinks about you. God, that's crazy for you. You're absorbing too much negativity, and this is the message that I give to everybody. Look, there's a great benefit to social media. It's an amazing tool, and it's changed society. However, it's just like gambling. It's just like pornography. It's just like food. You can get wrapped up in it, and it can be your whole fucking life if you let it.
It's been over a decade since I watched porn.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you. And some people, it's been about 5 minutes. Some people are watching porn on a split screen right now while they're watching this. They're jacking off right now to a gangbang while they're listening to Steve-O talk about how, you're missing out. You know how many people are subscribed to OnlyFans? We were looking this up the other day. It's like, what are the numbers of Americans? It's something shocking. It's some insanely shocking number. It's like 100+ million subscribers to OnlyFans.
Man.
And then with women, it's somewhere between like the ages of 18 to like 20 something. It's like 10% of the population is on OnlyFans.
As content?
As content creators.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what's weird is because like if you think about it, if you fuck on camera, right, you're a porn star, right? But maybe you're only fucking your boyfriend. Maybe you wear a mask. Okay. But are you doing it for money? What if you have sex with other people for money? Is that prostitution? So what if they just said, well, let's just legalize prostitution? Do you know how many fucking people would become prostitutes if they got desperate? Like Uber driver, prostitute.
Right.
What do you want to do? Like there's a lot of people who would go into prostitution. And some people think they should have that right to do that. And it should be freedom and freedom of expression and freedom of occupation. And then other people go, that might not be the best for society.
I had this crazy thought at one point.
What are the numbers for OnlyFans?
There's no official numbers. It's somewhere in the range of 100 to 150 million, but only 4% of those are actually people who pay.
Oh, how's that work?
They're free accounts.
Oh, okay. So what percent is people that pay?
Sorry, 4%.
4?
4.2.
4? So there's 100 million people accessing free content, and 4% of the users actually complete paid transactions. Wait a minute, but does it cost money to join?
Nope.
It doesn't cost to join.
It's up to the person who's making the content.
So is a paid transaction mean you subscribed?
Depends.
So so if you go on OnlyFans, you have to subscribe to each person's content, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's only 4% that are doing that. So over 100 million creepers, they're just checking it out.
Well, that's where you go. People have multiple accounts.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, various reasons. I wouldn't get into them.
Jamie's got multiple accounts.
I've never subscribed to one of
Of course not. I was joking. But, I mean, so 4% is not as much, but it's
4 million
still.
people that are paying, 4 or 5 million people that are,
still a lot.
Paying. And
what are the percentage of young girls that are on OnlyFans as content creators? And they're not all showing the cooch. Some of them are just a little nip slip, maybe just a bikini shot, G-string, bend over. But it's still.
But then you've got like the Bad Baby chick make like $50 million on there.
I know, that's crazy. What did she do on there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
According to these numbers, 4 to 4.6 million creators worldwide, with 1 million of them being in America.
Oh, that's it? So when they said it's 10% of girls 18 to 49, what percentage of girls, not 18 to 18 to 25? I think that was the number. What percentage of girls, put that in 18 to 25 in America, are have an account on OnlyFans. Percentage of girls between 18 to 25 in America have an account on OnlyFans. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what it says. 10%. 14% of American women aged 18 to 24 have an OnlyFans account. That's crazy, dude.
That is really crazy.
That's crazy. 14% of American women aged 18 to 24 have an OnlyFans account. That is wild.
It's just an estimate, though, just for argument's sake.
Yeah.
Those are not official numbers, I don't think, in any way.
I had this crazy thought. Hypothetically,
That's a crazy estimate.
hypothetically, if you had like a brick and mortar establishment with a bunch of chicks in there, and
Or else, you mean?
right, yeah, and an ordained minister, so that like a guy could walk in, pick out a woman, and
Marry
them on the spot. So then now that's your wife, and you are consummating your marriage. That's got to be totally legal. And then as you leave the establishment, you annul the marriage. Is that not like would that not just automatically?
That's a loophole. That's
Yeah.
a prostitution loophole. Well, one thing you could do is you could have a thing where you could fall in love immediately and get married and then give someone citizenship.
Right. But as soon as you...
But they come and visit you. They want to see if you're like really in love. Like they're like, how long you guys know
Right.
each other?
It's crazy.
Let me see you hold hands.
I know,
Let me see
but-
you kiss.
I know a bunch of people who have gotten married for just citizenship
Oh yeah, I
purposes.
know a dude who married a girl for citizenship. Yeah,
But you got to stay married.
yeah. He did it for her. She was where was she from? I forget. But they didn't even really have a relationship. I think she was from Russia. They didn't
Yeah,
really.
they seem to tend to be from Russia.
Yeah, it was just like they made a deal. I think it was a financial deal. This is the 90s. She's dead now.
Okay, I want to ask you, do you believe in reincarnation?
I don't not believe in it.
I think that there's like pretty like solid evidence, to, like if not irrefutable, but like you got little kids that are like giving like details that check out total like and they know like
There's another alternative. That alternative is genetic memory. And so we know that some memories are transferred through genes. And this is one of the reasons why arachnophobia exists. Arachnophobia is an irrational fear of spiders.
Right.
And the idea is that at some point in your genetic lineage, someone got really fucked up by a spider. Either you witnessed someone dying from a spider bite or you almost died from a spider bite, and that memory is transferred through the genes. The same with ophidiophobia, which is a fear of snakes. There's irrational fears that some people have that they attribute to a possible genetic memory. And then there's genetic memories like that are in animals that we know for a fact. Like a dog does not have to be taught. Like I have a golden retriever.
Marshall.
Marshall, he's the best. And you don't have to teach Marshall to bring a ball back. He's a retriever. He has some sort of a genetic memory. And he also, I didn't have to teach him to pee in a bush and lift his leg. Like he knew how to do that.
Right.
It's in their system. Right? There's a bunch of things that are in their system. They see animals, they get excited, they want to bite them. Like it's not a learned behavior. Like that dog's super well fed, but he will fuck a squirrel up if he catches it. Why? Because it's in his genetics. It's
predatory
in his
instinct.
Right. So then with humans, think about all the different things that humans learn. And think of all the different fears that humans have and how many of them are programmed. Like Rupert Sheldrake had a really important point once about what children are afraid of. He goes, when you think about it, what are children afraid of? They're afraid of monsters in the dark, right? They're not afraid of child molesters or murderers or rapists and car accidents. They're not afraid of things that really can harm them. They're afraid of monsters. And most children, especially living in a city, have never seen a monster, right? So why are they afraid of this thing? Well, it's because there's a genetic memory of us being preyed on by cats. And big cats who killed people forever hid in the trees, they hid in the dark, and you would go out to get water and they'd fuck you up and kill you. And so that is in little kids' memories. So if there's these kind of peripheral abstract memories or really radical sharp memories that don't make sense, like arachnophobia and things like that, like it's so possible that it's not just those things that are transferred through the genetics, but also learned experiences and maybe even information. You just don't have a way of expressing it yet. That's one of the reasons why you'll notice that a lot of the children of talented musicians are really talented, even when they're adopted, even when they grew up in different families. They might have never even been around that parent, but they have like some sort of innate musical talent or literary talent or something. I think there's some things that get transferred in DNA that we're not totally aware of. It's not like you get a menu list of all the things that you got from your parents. Oh, look, my dad was into history. That's why I'm into history. Look at all these things. I think there's a lot of stuff that transfers that maybe gets filed away, and maybe other people have access to those memories that you don't. Like there's weird levels of memory retention. We were talking about Mary Lou Henner from Taxi the other day. What's that disease she has? It's not a disease. It's the opposite of a disease. It's an amazing ability. She has this incredible ability. You can tell her July 2nd, 1976. She could tell you it was a Tuesday. She could tell you what happened, what was in the news, who did what she did, what color clothes she was wearing. Highly superior autobiographical memory. Now, imagine if that, whatever that is, that incredible memory is passed genetically occasionally and passed into some children, and then they don't just get the memory of their own life, but they get the memory of previous lives that other people have lived.
Okay.
So you think about how many different generations of human beings had to exist before Steve-O was born. You have all of this DNA and all of this information inside of your genes, supposedly. Maybe you can access some of that, and that some of it that you're accessing might be what we're calling reincarnation.
Okay.
What is this, Jamie?
This is the doctor who is a specialist in reincarnation at the University of Virginia. His name's Dr. Jim Tucker. He's continuing the work of a previous doctor. I think Hammond is his last name.
Interesting.
These are the two most repeated stories I've heard about that people talk about. There's a kid that repeats stories of a plane crash when he was a pilot. He's got a lot. There's further videos I've watched on this kid. So many details are insane.
Right.
Details verified against historical records of a pilot who died 50 years earlier, matching exactly despite no prior family exposure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's very different.
He went and met people and recognized them, I think, and even pointed out some of the names.
Okay, so but here's the thing. If that kid is not related in any way to this person who died from the plane crash,
I don't believe so.
Then we're talking about something totally different then.
But what you are getting at, there is discussions of this kind of overall work. I think it's on here where people talk about that. Deepak Chopra says it's a little bit like quantum physics. So how this happens isn't known, obviously, because this guy even says it starts, I think, between like age 2 and by age 5 or so, all the memories are kind of gone and they don't remember this stuff anymore.
Wow.
It's like very fleeting. Yeah. You can't really ask a lot of questions. They have to just tell you. And if you start asking too many questions, they freak out. Some of the kids start crying and they don't it goes away. It's very odd, but there's
what's really odd
cases.
is that it goes away.
Yeah.
That's really odd.
But as you were saying with Mary Lou Henner, hers doesn't even start until she was age 11.
Interesting.
So she doesn't
it's
have
always
that much
little
memory
kids.
before that.
It's always little kids that have memories of past lives, and they're supposed to name the Dalai Lama based on a kid having a memory. You know, it's supposed to be a reincarnation thing. You know, I'm fascinated by that, and also kind of in the same vein of it. So many irrefutable examples of where consciousness is evident separate from the brain. Like you've got the, you know, like people with no brain activity whatsoever, you know, like they're officially dead, you know, they're in the hospital and they wake up, come back to life or whatever the case may be, and they're explaining to the doctor what was happening while they were unconscious.
Yeah.
And to the extent that can maybe be explained for what, you know, they were in the room, a lot of these cases, they wake up and they say what the doctor was doing in a different part of the hospital. You know, like there's a case of a guy, a doctor. He was like had a patient, and he's in the cafeteria at the hospital. He gets spills spaghetti on his shirt or something. And he's like, oh man, I got a stain on my shirt. And so he puts his lab coat over it and does it up. And then the patient wakes up and says, oh yeah, I saw you spilled the shit on your shirt. There's a lot of evidence of consciousness operating separate from the brain. And I had the most fascinating conversation with Duncan Trussell about the idea that the brain is not a generator. It's not a transmitter.
It's an antenna.
Yeah, it's an antenna.
Yeah.
And that explains a lot of stuff to me, about the soul. I was saying to Duncan Trussell, imagine that we're more of a radio, like an antenna. You can take a radio and with a sledgehammer just smash it to smithereens. You've done nothing to disrupt the actual signal. So that signal can now tune in, be picked up by another radio. And that kind of explains reincarnation to me on some level. And Duncan Trussell hears that. He goes, yeah. And you got so many fucking people walking around. They don't realize they're a radio. They think they're the fucking Beatles.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Duncan's so funny.
He's so good.
Such
man.
a unique human.
Yeah. And so all of this stuff is super fascinating to me.
It is interesting, but there's no answers. So it's there's a reason why so many societies and so many civilizations for a long time have believed in reincarnation, afterlife, that there's some sort of disembodied consciousness. There's a reason.
Consciousness.
But then it gets really weird.
On.
It's they've also believed in beings that have come down from the heavens. So what are those things?
Pyramids.
Yeah. What are those things? What's that about? Who are those people?
How about near-death experiences?
Well, near-death experiences you could attribute to a lot of things, right? One of the things you could attribute to is an endogenous dump of psychedelic chemicals that we know the brain makes under stress. And one of the big ones is dimethyltryptamine, which we know your body makes. And there's a lot of people that think that it's sort of a chemical gateway, and that what you're doing is getting a peek into the afterlife. That when you're having these DMT experiences, and that when you're having a near-death experience, that's your brain flooding with DMT to prepare you for leaving this world.
Okay.
It's just weird that they all have a very similar thing about going through a tunnel and a light at the end of the tunnel. It's like this, it's a journey. And what is, I haven't had a near-death experience. I don't know what it's like.
You know who had one? Jeremy Renner.
Oh, yeah.
With his snowmobile accident.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by near-death experience videos on YouTube. You got thousands of people who have had the experience of dying, been on the other side, and they describe what's called life review. Okay, there's the saying that everybody's familiar with, that when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. Mm-hmm. However, the way that these people describe it, it's that on the other side of death, as a spirit, somehow the concept of time is doesn't apply anymore. So you've got it's not that your life flashes before your eyes, because time isn't there's no time constraint. So you've got unfathomable immersion, without time, and that it's not that you're experiencing your life as you experienced it, but rather they describe experiencing your life in the most important, memorable moments from the perspective of the people who you influenced, the people who you had an impact on. And it's not just from their perspective, but in this near-death experience life review, the way that they describe it, you are those people. It's and every, all the scriptures, all the spirituality, there's the idea that separation is an illusion. That at the end of the day, that there's only oneness. We're all one thing. We're all eyes in the same head. We're all the same thing wearing different costumes.
Right, so that begs the question, why are we separate? What's the purpose of being separate?
As I understand it, the way that what I've bought onto is that the universe, everything, like God, in the absolute form, God as one thing cannot have experience because there's nothing to relate to, and so God in the absolute sense is kind of it's pure love. It's this pure awesome, but it's very lonely, proposition. So the idea of the separation is the universe, God, like blasts itself into infinite different things to create the realm of the relative. So now there's, we have the separation. So now we can relate to it. This allows for God to experience itself, which you would never be able to do. You would never be able to have up and down or, and like anything. And so it's like the whole point is for experience. And
right, but what's the benefit of experience for God?
To know itself.
So this is in regards only to human beings or to all animals?
Different, like the souls, and I go down these fucking rabbit holes, dude. Like particularly recently, I did this whole audio book, a modern English version of a book that was published in 1857 by a French dude named Allan Kardec, who it's called the Spirits Book. And, you've like got all these mediums that he's communicating with and putting together all this like, definitive book on spiritism.
Right.
And the way that book describes it is that animals have souls, but not souls that with like moral implications of the growth of, the purpose of our separation and the purpose of our experience is to have free will, to have the choice to do good or bad or, whatever, but to evolve as a soul where you evolve towards being loving and, like.
Where was he getting this from?
From mediums. From
From
spirit
mediums.
world. Yeah.
So the spirit world was telling him this.
Yeah, and like crazy, like a lot of like
The problem with mediums is the same problem that you have with trans people using the bathroom. Some are legit,
sure,
and some of them are just not.
Right, of course.
That's the issue with anybody saying that they know exactly why, and what is the difference between the way animals think and behave and humans think and behave.
Well, I think with animals, there's it's that they're like
they're in the wild. They need survival.
Survival, where humans have kind of a higher level of like a higher bar to meet because we have like there's more moral implications to the way we conduct our lives.
Yeah. Well, we've also figured out shelter, right? So we're a little bit we have doors, and so we're separated from the wild world, which has allowed us to have a lot more time to innovate and think.
Right.
It might be correct.
I think that
but it's just interesting
because
it's like the problem is people like they buy in to things as being like absolute truth, and especially things that are exciting, like spiritual mediums and spirits and channeling and all that shit.
I think that with the near-death experience, all these thousands of people have had the accounts. There's a society of near-death experiencers, official, like where
I wonder if any frauds slip in there with a fake story of almost dying.
I bet
they do.
I don't doubt it. But the consistency across all of these accounts, it's like it kind of like lends legitimacy to me.
Well, that's the case with the alien abduction experience as well.
Right.
That's another weird one. It's like I want to dismiss it out. I haven't had it, so I'm like, fuck these people. It's not real. But man, it gets weird. It gets real, especially when you read like Jacques Vallée's work and you realize this stuff has been going on in the 1700s, 1800s. They just had a different way of talking about it because they didn't have the idea that a physical craft could fly in the sky that's made out of metal. To them, that was alien.
Right.
It didn't make, for lack of a better word, but so they didn't describe it that way. But they did describe meeting these creatures and being taken away and waking
Sucked up
up.
in a light.
Yeah, things like that. It's like there's so many of those stories. And then the actual stories of people that have been supposedly abducted, that have these stories of these encounters.
Right.
They're oddly similar, regardless of where they live in the world,
Yep.
which is real weird.
Right.
And it's one of those things. It's like if it hasn't happened to you, you really wouldn't be able to describe it. Like,
Sure.
and if you did, you wouldn't believe. And if it did happen to you, you'd be like, "How am I even going to tell anybody about this?"
Right.
Because no one else has this experience. So this is going to be a crazy thing that I'm going to talk about. Everyone's going to think I'm a kook.
That's been a lot of people's experience, I think, up until recently. So
Sure.
now, like with the way that people describe the life review, you know, and they describe like things where they said something nasty, and then you know they did something like hurtful, and in their life review, they are the person, they feel that sorrow, and they come back like with like such. Maybe remorse, maybe like more like heightened compassion, like less interest in material things, and I just think to myself, oh my God, like in my life, like when I was such a fucking nightmare with drugs and sex and all the fucking crazy, just like I created a lot of wreckage. I think I was harmful and hurtful. I've been better, but even like coming up, I'm almost 18 years clean and sober. Even in those 18 years, I've had a bad temper, like whatever,
Yeah.
like overly and
You're a human being, man.
right. The
Yeah.
trajectory of my life, I believe, has been much like it's upward improvement, which
Good.
I'm really grateful for. But when I hear about these accounts, when people describing the life review, I think, oh my God, I gotta.
You're worried about a comment section in heaven. That's literally what you're sitting here tweaking out about.
A little bit,
Yeah.
like a little bit, like I view the remainder of my life as an opportunity, like a big gigantic opportunity to stack the good, and like be more.
Well, that's good.
So I'll just go around.
Look,
like,
anything that gives you motivation to be a good person is
Yeah.
great. That's great. If that's how you have to do it.
Yeah, I'll keep like a big fucking wad of cash in my pocket so I can just give $20 to every Uber driver, every homeless person, like, and I think like, yeah, maybe that's just selfishly I want to have a better life review.
Well, if selfishly wanting to have a better life for you makes you be a nicer person, then it's worth it.
100%.
Yeah,
and
that's all.
I care about that so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in your own head a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty gnarly.
Do you have anything else you do that like wears you out? Do you do anything physical? Do you do like hard workouts that like drain you of anxiety?
I do, I do yoga every day for 30
Oh, that's
minutes.
good. That's good.
And I got the perfect push-ups. You ever do those?
Sure.
I just got this killer strength machine at my house in Tennessee that I haven't been to in fucking 2 months.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that's a relief from anxieties, like hard workouts. Like
Yeah.
this, because look, there's benefits to having regret because you course correct and you become
Right.
better. But after a while, you can't be thinking about it all the fucking time because
Right.
then what you're doing, you're addicted to self-analysis.
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there addicted to self-analysis. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people that love going to therapy so they can talk about themselves and
Right.
talk about their feelings. And some of that is really good for you, and some of that is very beneficial because you could develop tools that can help you manage your life. But there's also people that are just narcissists and just like going to a place where it's all about them for an hour, and this is a problem with self-analysis and living in your own head, is that you got to get outside of your head.
Yeah.
Like, this is the benefit of psychedelics. They get you outside your head, and and in living in that whole what does everybody think about me? Let me
Right.
check. Oh, what do I do? Oh, my bad guy.
Right.
Not good for you, man. And it's not productive. Like, it doesn't allow you to do the things that you want to do in life efficiently and effectively.
Whoa.
What is it saying to you? Sirius listening in? Why do you have that thing? Get rid of those fucking watches. Those are ridiculous. Watch
Yeah.
should tell you the fucking time. That's it. Should be reading emails too. You have a phone. Stop. Stop with all this shit that you carry around with you. It's all
Right. I feel like you're seeing right through me,
input.
Joe. Like, I do. My head is very fucking mean to me, man.
Well, it also could be the kind of people you surround yourself with. You know, if you're around other people that think more along the lines of, look, you got to have radical self-forgiveness for your past. You got to let it go. You're not a loser you're not the guy who got stuffed into a locker in high school. Okay, you got to let that go. And it's hard for people. There's people that were so bullied in high school that they will go to high school as a fucking grown man with children, and they will get anxiety and panic in that same high school because they still associate themselves with who they were back then. And, you know, at a certain point in time, you have to move on. You know, you have to let it go.
Yeah.
And you know, it's good to recognize your flaws and want to improve upon them up to a point. And then you got to concentrate on what you're doing and what you enjoy doing and just doing a good job at everything that you do. And one of the things that prevents you from doing a good job at everything you do is constantly being in your own head.
Right.
It can get in the way.
Yeah. You know, I got this, I moved out to Tennessee. I got this big property.
You out in Nashville?
45 minutes north of Nashville.
Okay, so you're out in the woods.
I'm out in the woods. Yeah, all of the, you know, fancy, like...
Do you ever hear a yeehaw in the middle of the night and get worried? You hear shotguns in the distance?
No, but I've got these great
Ding,
neighbors,
ding,
man.
ding,
Like,
ding.
my
You get lucky.
my neighbors are so awesome,
Well, that's
man.
cool.
Like, I got the place in September 2023, so I've been out.
How did you choose that area?
You know what it was? Like, I got the... I started hearing about people getting notifications from their insurance companies in LA that their homeowner's policy wouldn't be renewed because of the risk of fires. And I was like, dude, I live in the Hollywood Hills. Like, it's just a fucking exercise in waiting for my house to burn down. Like, I've got this fucking house is uninsurable, you know? And like, I was like, man, I don't want to be waiting for my house to burn down. I wanted, and I wanted to have a bunch of land so I can open up an animal sanctuary. You know, that's my deal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I knew that I wanted to get a place outside of California, and it was supposed to be Corey Sanhagen against Islam in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was like, oh my fuck! It ended
They're
up
in different weight classes.
Oh, okay, wait, no. Okay, yeah, not Islam.
Umar Nurmagomedov?
Umar. Yeah, Umar.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good catch. It was supposed to be Umar. Like, I was like, oh my god, I got to be there. Fucking so excited. It ended up being Corey Sanhagen against Rob Font because Umar backed out somehow or other.
Probably got injured.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, we're fucking going out to. So I decided that I'm going to go look at properties in Tennessee just for a weekend, and the only motivation was to go for the fights.
Oh.
Because I fucking love the UFC, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love the UFC. So I went
Good
out
one
there.
this weekend coming up.
Yeah, right, the BMF.
Yeah, that should be exciting. Max Holloway
And
versus
Charles
Charles
Oliveira.
Oliveira. That is a great fight.
And do the whole fucking card.
Uh-huh.
And all the way down the prelims. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Some of the names on the
super solid
prelims.
card. Yeah.
But yeah, so I looked at properties. We went down, like, all around. And when I got to this one, 44 acres. House with the fucking additional dwelling unit, like apartment on the garage, like, and this trail that goes through the woods in a perfect 1 mile loop. They drove us around that trail. I was like, I got it.
That's awesome.
I'm like, this place, like, they can get me for because I have to have it. You know, like they're just gonna.
Well, it's good for a guy like you. Like, that's probably a great thing to have too. Is just get some peace, some quiet.
Dude, when I got out there, I was like, oh my god, I'm not like chewing on my lip. I'm not like I can breathe.
Yeah.
Now the problem is that I'm not there very much because I'm always fucking touring and working and chasing and
Listen,
grinding.
that's the touring and working is a gift. You know, you have the ability to do that. It's way better than wishing you could be touring and working.
Right.
You
I
know?
mean, that's how it was when I started doing comedy. So I got sober in 2008, right? Up to that point, I was 33, and up to that point, I never thought I was gonna fucking make it to third. You know, like I
Right.
was just like, it's
You're
just
chaos.
yeah. I was like literally just never even imagined. Like I wasn't worried about saving money. I wasn't worried about like it was just like I'm gonna be dead.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I got clean and sober, and it's like, wow. Now I'm ceasing to like actively kill myself. I'm starting to take care of myself. Maybe I'm gonna be alive for decades to come.
Right.
And like, holy shit, like 2008, like whatever I had saved at that time was just, you know, like, and I'm like, how am I going to fucking eat? If I'm going to be, if I'm only like less than halfway through my life, I've burned every bridge in my career. And, you know, they're telling me that if I want to like be, you know, clean and sober and have any kind of a good life, I've got to deflate my ego. I've got to practice spiritual principles. How the fuck am I supposed to be Steve-O and fucking with a deflated ego and on a spiritual path? I didn't know if I could continue to have any kind of a career as I knew it. So now I'm like, how am I going to eat? You know, like my savings just got blasted. And I start doing comedy. Going to the Laugh Factory, like, they'd give you like $20, you know, like sign here and they'd give you like $20. Mm-hmm. And then like when the Jackass 3D came out, I went on the Howard Stern show and I'm like, Howard, I've been in the comedy club every night. I'm having a blast. And just by saying that on Howard Stern, my lawyer called me up like in the next week or something. He says, I've got comedy clubs all over the country calling, trying to book you. Like, what's this about? And they're offering like all this money. I'm like, wait, you can make what? You can make that much money like going to a fucking comedy club for a weekend? Like, holy shit. I'm like, I got to fucking figure out how I'm going to eat for the next, you know, 50 years maybe. So I just fucking started grinding, dude.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
It's you know, I think that anybody who wants to do comedy should do comedy. And there's a weird thing that happens with comedy where it's like there's a lot of gatekeepers. Like, oh, what is he doing comedy?
Right.
Which I think is gross. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you found something else. But it's just being yourself. You know, you could
For sure.
You could still be on a spiritual path and still.
Oh, 100%. I've
anything.
figured that out. I've figured that out completely. And I think that the point being that I like that in 2011, like, Jesus, man, like I'd have been, you know, 52 weeks of the year. Like, no way that I wasn't like full on fucking engagement for like 45 weeks of that year. You know,
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, and just by doing it that much, like the repetition, it's like, oh, okay, now like I'm developing a craft. You know?
If you care about it. If you care about it and you get into it, you'll get better at it.
Dude, I care
But it's harder
so
for a
much.
guy like you that's already famous to start out because, you know, some people, they're already famous. Like, I went on the road with Charlie Murphy when he was doing that. And it was like the ballsiest thing ever. Like, Charlie was famous for being on the Chappelle Show and then starting out doing comedy. When I went on the road with him, I think he'd only been doing comedy like 2 years at the time. I'm like, man, this is such a ballsy thing to do because there's so many expectations of you. You're Eddie Murphy's brother, which is
Right.
nuts. So you're a brother, one of the greatest of all time. And then on top of that, you're already famous from one of the funniest comedy shows of all time, and you're a beginner.
Yeah.
Which is wild, you know?
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse
Mm-hmm.
because you can sell tickets because people know you, they want to see you. But
Yeah.
but you're a
A lot of guys, they get together with other people that can help them, you know, formulate an act, maybe help them write, help them piece together. Like, maybe if they're not even writing for you, at least they can help you consolidate your thoughts and, you know,
Right.
put together some, like, if you're smart, that's the way to do it. Like, hire some people that can help you.
I've never been able to have people write for me.
Well, it's not necessary. You don't have to, but it's a good idea for, like, you're a little bit different than a traditional stand-up
Right.
comic, though. You have stand-up comedy, but you also do multimedia stuff
Right.
and stunts and silly things. For people that just, like, Charlie was just doing comedy.
Right.
You know,
I started out doing that. I would do like a set of stand-up, and then I would have like a set of sort of repeatable stunts and tricks at the end.
Right. So this is not like Laugh Factory when you're one of the people on the
Right,
lineup.
right,
This
right.
is when you're doing your own shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the tour began.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
But yeah, dude, I'm just fucking stoked. And
You're
and
in a good place. You just got to get out of your own head.
Yeah, my head terrorizes me a lot.
Yeah, you got to get out of your own head and probably surround yourself more with people that also are not in their own head,
Right.
you know, because that shit's contagious. Just like being a loser is contagious. Like if you're around people that are losers, like that shit can rub off on you. If you're around people that sabotage their life all the time, you're with them, like, ugh, then you're wrapped up in their shit, and you're not only not progressing, you're regressing. Because you're like constantly with this guy who's like fucking his life up all the time.
Right.
Real, some people have to cut ties. Just try to surround yourself with people from your yoga class. Like go to a solid yoga class and find solid people. Like just that is one of like be the type of person that solid people want to be around, but also find those people too.
Right.
And both of those things will benefit you. Because if you're in your own head and you're around other people that are like worried about their career too, and they're in their own head and they're freaking out about their comments and you're freaking out about your comments, like, geez.
Right.
Stop. This is not good for anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's helpful too to look at the facts. Like whatever I've been through, whatever, like.
But even that is thinking about yourself too much. Think about your stuff. Think about what you're doing.
Right,
Don't think
okay.
about like I've accomplished so much and this is why I don't have to worry. Like, you don't get any. There's no gas in that.
Right.
There's
I don't know that that's what I meant, but like what I've been going through over the last few weeks, I was telling you about, didn't change the fact that like our Jackass movies, fucking full bore, full force.
There you go. Doesn't change the fact you have a dick on your forehead.
Doesn't change that. Yeah, like nobody who matters to me has voiced any concern about anything.
That's all that matters. Then it's the people that are close to you that really matter. It's just like you're just a little too in your own head, bro. I hope this helped.
It really fucking did. It really.
You're a good dude, man. You shouldn't be worried.
I care.
I know you do, but it's the reason why you care is because you're a good dude. But your brain can hijack you.
Yeah.
Your thoughts can run. Your thoughts can run away with you. I mean, we've all had it happen before.
Right.
You get a thought, it runs away with you, and then you got to bring it back. But you got to get better at corralling that bitch. It's like being a dog trainer. You can't have your dog shitting all over your house and chewing up your furniture. You gotta, hey, stop. Right. Doesn't mean you don't love your dog. It's like you don't want them shitting on your couch. Like, tell them not to do that. Be a good dog trainer. Be a good Steve-O trainer. Yeah. Like, don't let Steve-O's brain run away from him and piss on the TV. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Same kind of thing. You got to train yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fair, man. And I'm super grateful for you, brother.
I'm grateful for you, too. Like I said, I just hate seeing you in your own head because you're a great guy. You're fun to be around. You're always very thoughtful and very friendly. And don't worry about it, man. It's going to be all right.
Well, thank you, dude.
And then you're going to come back as a butterfly or some shit.
Right.
Maybe you come back as a World War II pilot. Maybe you go back in time. That would be wild. You have memories of the future.
Dude,
You're like, fuck.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, it's because if reincarnation if time's not linear, if time exists all at once, like maybe reincarnation is not linear either. Maybe there's people that die and then they have messages from the future.
I mean, that's
imagine you're in the trenches of World War I. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? I used to have an iPhone. I had a watch that was my dad was calling me on it.
Right.
This is so stupid. Now I'm worried about getting eaten by wolves in this fucking trench.
Right. I mean, the idea of quantum physics, quantum mechanics,
entanglement,
all possible realities all exist, all in one moment.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I've tried.
Right. How's Marshall?
He's great. He's great.
How old is Marshall now?
He's 9.
Wow.
Yeah. It makes me sad that I'm worried that he's only going to live for a few more years.
Right.
That's what's spooky. Goldens, when they eat well and they're well fed, they could live like 15, 16 years. I just got to take care of them. It's just like thinking about him not being around. It's like, it's really hard. Like we were playing today, I take him in the yard, throw the ball with him, and we're hanging out and cuddling. And I just can't imagine a life where that dog's not around. You know, like he's just a big love sponge. Yeah. He loves everybody. Everybody that comes over the house, the first thing he does, he runs up to you, he wags his tail, he rubs up against you, and then he lies down because he knows you want to pet his belly. He's like, come on, you want to pet me. He's just so used to being touched by everybody.
Right.
Like that's his existence is just love.
I was in Peru in 2017 with Chuck Liddell. We were doing this.
When you found that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That I still have Wendy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's at this point like 11.
Wow.
And she's slowing down.
It's like dogs. It's so sad. They don't live long enough.
I know.
You know?
But dude, since Wendy's now retired, living on my ranch in Tennessee.
Well, that's cool.
And she has become the gnarliest country girl. Like she'll just go out on the property and come back with like a fucking gnarly deer leg.
That she found the woods.
She just sits there.
That's normal. That's dog behavior.
And I've got this ranch cat that I'm pretty sure like he goes out there and like hunts squirrels or whatever.
He probably
like
kills
rodents.
everything. Probably kills a lot of birds.
And then he brings them to Wendy. Because I was trying to figure out why is Wendy getting so fucking fat. I'm like telling my ranch hand, I'm like, dude, we gotta like not feed Wendy so much. She's like kind of fucking getting fat. She's like, dude, I've been like feeding her less, but she just seems to still be getting fucking fat. And we find her like she cruises up with like just some big ass rodent, and
then she's gonna kiss you with rat
she's
asshole breath,
just crunching it. I watched her house a whole fucking squirrel to the face and just swallow the whole fucking thing. And I know that her old fat ass wasn't fast enough to catch a squirrel. The only way is it's got to be the cat's killing it and
so
giving
the
it
cat
to
killed
her.
the squirrel, and it's like, hey, friend, I got something for you. Because cats just want to kill.
Yeah.
They kill so much, man. If you let a cat go wild, you want to do harm, let a cat go loose. That'll kill thousands and thousands of things. I saw a cat the other day on a ranch. It was really wild. I turned a corner and I saw it right as this cat pounced. So this cat was in the grass and it was doing that thing where their back goes up and their butt starts wiggling and just flew through the air and landed. I'm like, how happy is this fucking cat living out here? Like just being able to jack all these poor little unsuspecting animals all day long.
Yeah,
That's what they want to do, man.
The guy bought the property from, he said, you will never see a fucking mouse, a fucking rat. He's like, this cat, because we inherited the cat Rocky.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like, this cat takes his job fucking seriously.
It's
man.
way better than having mice around, that's for sure. But they are mass murderers.
Yeah.
Do you know that like house cats, wild house cats, feral cats kill billions of mammals every year just in America? Billions.
Feral house cats.
Wild cats.
Right.
Cats that get left outside.
Regular old cats.
Regular cats, not like cougars.
And they kill billions of
birds and mammals. Billions. Billions.
Yeah.
They are so good at it. They love to do it. I used to have this like fluffy, she was like, I forget what they're called, the kind of cat she was, but she was just a ball of fluff. Like she would just purr when you pet her and like, that little bitch was a murderer. I let her outside. She'd have a bird. I'm like, this is crazy. She'd jump up and snag a bird out of the air. I'm like, she would sit by the window and she'd see a squirrel outside and her teeth would start chattering. Like she just couldn't wait to bite it. It would make these weird noises staring at birds and squirrels. Like, it's just in them, man.
Yeah.
They're little killing machines.
Yep. I'm gonna have so many fucking animals.
That's awesome.
At this point, it's pigs and goats and cats and dogs.
That's dope, dude. That sounds like a great life. And a great balance to the chaos that you had when you were younger. And also a great balance to touring, right?
Right.
You're touring in all these cities. You come back home. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Oh, dude, I love it so much, man. And it's it's all set up. It's an official 501c3 nonprofit animal sanctuary.
Oh, so you could take in animals, like if someone has a dog that's been abandoned or a goat that they can't take care of anymore. Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That sounds really cool, man.
It's called the Radical Ranch.
Yeah.
And the website's radicalranch.org.
Oh, you have a website.
Just went live like last month.
Oh, cool.
Like a month, in January it went live. So like people can fucking donate or whatever. See all the animals on there. It's pretty rad.
That's dope, brother. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Radical Ranch.
There's Wendy.
Oh, look at all these little animals having a good time.
Believe it or not, that's Photoshop.
Is it?
You're not getting all those animals in one.
That's Photoshop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's deceptive. How dare you?
Well, I mean, I wanted to get,
you're having a party, just like a Disney movie.
I wanted to have all the animals in one shot, and
That's actually makes sense. Otherwise, I was like, why didn't that dog chase those goats? Why is the goat dealing with the dog being right there?
Right.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you very much.
Dude, likewise,
It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah, I try to like be pretty sparing if I'm gonna hit you up. I try to make sure that it
Don't worry about it, man. Just be you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, dude,
it's all gonna be fine.
I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you too, brother.
This was fucking important for me, dude.
My pleasure. All right. Bye, everybody.